hail and well met. Welcome to the next episode of Isekai Realms. We're all wearing our favorite clothes.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, or whatever.
2 weeks in a row.
This
It's
is,
amazing.
however this works.
I'm pretty sure the last game was 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 2 months. Who knows how long ago it was?
Time travel.
We dressed exactly the same, and we are ready. Okay, fine. Here we go. So I am Eric Scott DeVee, playing myself, Elric Thalavar in the Forgotten Realms. I used up all my magical plot armor to summon Vindicator, and now I wield Vindicator, and I'm having issues adapting. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. And I play Amara Valerian, who is me, but an elf, and awesome. And I'm enjoying it.
No,
you want
you're
to say
awesome
anything about
already.
Idle Champions?
Yes, I do have things to say about Idle Champions.
Sweet.
Because I totally have that open already. All right, but I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is Idle Champions. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. There might even be a seasonal event happening right now. I don't know when this is airing, so go check it out, please.
Marry today.
Yes.
I have two other people to tell you about, but at first I'll tell you who I am. Sorry, I got a little turned around there.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held. The Silver Series and space opera is RZ Held, the Amsterdam Institute series. I am a professional archaeologist, and I have two other partners to tell you about. There we go. We made it there. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you are skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. They also offer other gaming accessories, and you can find them at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Randy Henderson, professional Bigfoot breeder and jackalope trainer, and yeah, that's me.
Hello,
How are
everybody.
those
I'm Joel Everett.
jackalopes doing?
Usually one of your mods in the chat is Rumpus Imperator. And over to you, Chris.
All right, welcome back. We've been gone not so long in real life, all of us here, but a little bit longer in not real life. And so if some of us appear slightly disorganized or punch drunk, it's because we just ate a meal, and so we're probably sleepy. When last we left our heroes, they had returned from a attempt to find Gedrin Thalavar, aka Future Shadowbane, at Castle Thalavar, only to be rebuffed by a rather rude old woman. What was I going to say? They returned to Briar House, where their hostess Jamal was able to inform them that she was working on an alternative opportunity for them to potentially track down young Gedrin, as Eric had a vision that he thought took place in a fest hall of some note here in Westgate called the Purple Lady. And just as it turns out, Jamal has a contact within the Purple Lady, a woman who these days calls herself Arita, which is Elvish for the Silver Fox. And so they are discussing amongst themselves their plan to go visit. They received a note from that contact indicating that they would have to come after midnight and they would need to wear something bearing the symbol of the Briar Rose so that they could be recognized. You will conclude your lovely dinner and dessert, Thanksgiving style, with Mistress Jamal, the babes, and a really lovely evening. And now you're off to plotting. So plot for me, would you?
I had one point of business. So Rhiannon, I knew you
Mhm.
mentioned that you wanted to see about learning some spells.
Yep.
Would you prefer to do that rather than infiltrate with us, or because I don't want to hold you back, and that seems very useful. So
I mean, it makes sense to me because we talked about me wearing the brooch, but I think that anybody could wear the
right,
brooch, and I
theoretically,
would
yeah.
give somebody the signet ring,
Mhm.
so that I'm not like walking around holding it.
I'll simply say, as your dungeon master, that I can equally manage you being there or not being there, but should you be needed and not be there, well, then I can't manage that.
True enough. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I could come and then like, I could guard the car.
right.
And then
I'm
you could
just
call
saying
somebody as
I don't want to.
necessary.
I kind of volunteered you to wear the brooch and stuff, but like I don't want to put pressure on you. Like if you don't want to do that, that's okay. So,
I'm fine with it. I was just thinking, you and Allie probably will need some private time with contact. So
spicy. Anyway,
Where's the
no,
bell?
no,
Where's
I
that
understand.
town
I
crier
understand what you're
sound?
saying. Yes, yes. That might happen. We'll see.
Indeed, we shall. All right. So thank you for that short conversation. What I'm
I did
interested
have a
in. Oh, terribly sorry. Go ahead, Joel.
no, just a question for Mr. Jamal. So are we going in the is can your contact get us in the front door, or can she maybe get us in the through the service entrance earlier?
I don't have a
Or
way
how
of.
is she planning to get us in? I guess.
I would
Do we need to dress for
assume.
a party or?
Yes, I would assume based upon the intention to have you wear a briar rose or the symbol of the briar rose, the expectation is you'd come straight in through the front door. I haven't talked to her in some time. This is my first communication in a while, and I don't think I'm going to be able to send another in the time that we have that'll get you in some hidden entrance. I'm afraid you're going to have to approach this one straightforward.
Okay.
Joel, I think you cut a very good figure with the plate armor and stuff. So I think that's good.
I was going to say I probably need to change.
I don't think you do. Like I think that's very in keeping with dwarven theatricality.
Yeah. You're fine.
I mean, look what Allie's wearing. It's very much in
All right,
keeping.
I'll just put the accent on real thick and pretend I just crawled out of a hole and rolled down the mountain.
Right, exactly.
Jamal will say to you,
Someone stole your beard.
if I insult you, Sir Dwarf, by saying this, it is not my intention. I am instead only attempting to assist you. I don't know if you removed your beard for some reason, perhaps because of the loss of a loved one, or some other cause. But if you wished to be less readily identifiable in that regard, I do have plenty of disguise materials that would allow us to craft a very appropriate one for you.
Perfect. I think I know what I'm doing from now until the until it's time to go.
Excellent. All right. I thought that might be of use to you. Very good.
I appreciate the offer, and I will take you up on it.
So what I need to know as a DM is, how you plan to dress, how you plan to present yourselves, what you plan to bring by way of your stuff of valuable, what you plan to leave by way of your stuff as valuable, and just sort of like, your 30-second general strategy. That's what I kind of want you to collectively discuss before you set out upon your journey. Begin discussing.
Okay.
Well,
So let's start with who's going to be carrying the signet ring. I think the one who probably made the least impression on no, wait. I think we all upset the matron at some point.
yeah, I mean,
But somebody's going to be wearing the
I
mask.
just asked her a question.
That's true. We can put that's true. Okay, so who's going to wear okay, so I guess question number one is Rhiannon going to go study magic, or is she coming with us?
I think I better come with you. I'll just
Okay.
step back at some point.
Okay, in that case, we should probably put the mask on you and leave the signet ring with you.
Yep. At least at first.
Initially, yes.
Okay. Those of us who have armor, just wear your armor and own it, I think would be the right way to go. Those of us who are just wearing clothing, should be Rhiannon, Randonius, and myself, will find some suitably theatrical, celebratory sorts of clothing.
I mean, I was going to go a bit more low key.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
This place has a certain vibe to it.
I mean, there is that.
You decide whether you wish to fit in or stick out. Up to you.
Well, I was going to go for fitting in.
Fair enough.
Just describe the vibe
Yeah.
we're fitting into.
I mean,
This is
I'll
a,
continue wearing my fancy outfit, but unbutton the down to here. Show my.
Well, it is a fest hall.
I was just going to
It
say,
is a fest hall.
why don't you tell us a bit about what you already know about it, Eric? Now, whether this information is in or out of date, a fest hall
Yeah.
is a fest hall.
You're right. So, fest hall is a polite way of referring to a place as a brothel, and it was specifically they came up with this term in order to appease angry mothers and fathers who were not keen on their children dealing with such locations. Anyway, yeah, it's there's lots of dancing and lots of music, lots of
Activity.
Yeah,
Transactions in the back rooms.
Okay.
and in the front rooms. There will probably be drinking involved. There will probably be plenty of flirtation involved. Allie's gonna have a field day.
Thanks.
Or a night.
I did not mean that in any deprecating way. I expect you to have a great time. So if you want to blend in, you're probably going to want to wear something colorful and stylish, but not like super risque or like
mean, we
attention
did-
grabbing.
Yeah, we don't work there.
Right.
So
Right, we're not trying
therefore-
to look like we're employees.
But we're trying to look like we're guests who should be there.
Mhm. I think
You want to dress like
Oh.
the girl who waited in the line for a while and is now in and having a good time, right?
Okay, so why don't you all decide what those outfits are going to be in a moment? Again, what leave that is valuable, magical, coin related, etc.
We don't need to bring all our coin
no,
with
we don't.
us.
It would probably help to bring.
We're planning to party.
It would
I'll-
probably help to bring some of it. However,
Yeah, I'll keep what I have on me. I'll keep what I have stashed, you know, like in the little pouch that I've kind of hidden underneath the front of my armor. I mean, are we walking in here armed? That seems a little
Well, I'm not, but I have an advantage.
fair. And I can't with the armor I'm wearing, I can't easily hide even the stiletto.
that is correct.
Would they look
Valid.
weird at me if I had that on me at least? That's the question.
You could ask Mistress Jamal.
I could ask Mistress. In fact, I will ask Mistress Jamal what
She
her
will tell you that
recommendation would be.
adventurers regularly visit the Purple Lady, and she hasn't been in a while, but she's seen that people walk in with their weapons. However, they're likely to ask you to peace bond them.
Okay, that's fair. I'll leave my I'll keep them with me, and at least if they ask me to peace bond them, I'll peace bond them. I will also ask if if I can use some of the because I'm sure they have them available, like a makeup kit or something.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact,
'Cause
Joel
I
is
don't have
already
any of
working
my
on that
things.
project. Yeah.
Hey, well, different makeup, but
Yes.
yes.
It's all. I
Just
keep
there
I
is
keep
that
it all in
Waiting
the
for
same
us to
place.
ask.
All right. So go ahead. Gear.
Should I dress like Shadowbane? Probably, right? Right?
I'm not answering that question.
Well, I mean,
Only if
yeah,
you feel
no-
like you
I
need
mean,
to.
Nobody but a couple of, well, okay, so one thing to consider though, what are the chances that the person we're meeting is the person who was on that rooftop and saw your first outing?
Hi.
I'm guessing just, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
my thought too. So maybe,
I don't know. I was,
Oh, that's right, but you weren't
naked and
dressed
covered
as
in
Shadowbane.
shit at the
No.
time. So
Naked.
I wasn't naked. It's true. I had stripped off some of my clothes so as not to ruin them by wading into it's gross. Anyway, go back a couple episodes to see
You'll
what
know.
we're talking
You'll
about.
know.
Anyway,
You'll know.
all right. Yeah, I will go for grays and blacks, and then I will acquire some kind of
So let me ask you this
some
question:
kind of helmet. Yes.
Are we talking?
let's do
Are we
this.
talking Zorro-esque, Eric?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, that's the image I shall have of you in my mind. A 6'7"
Okay, fair
Zorro.
Broad hat and
I-
a domino.
I certainly, for mine, would like to. I would like to accent my little outfit with. I keep wanting to find like a half cape or something.
There are half capes. Are you wearing the leather armor? Is that the plan?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the plan.
So that's your predominant outfit, and you're looking for a half cape in gray, black, scarlet, navy blue. You've got all kinds of options.
I'll go with the scarlet since I've got the red boots.
Okay, fair enough.
It'll fit. But yeah, as far as the rest of it, I will once the makeup kit is available, I will probably do something nicer with my with my appearance, makeup wise, and then probably make my hair look a little bit nicer too. Try to do something with it instead of just leaving it
Fair
on
enough.
its own.
Weapon, are you just going with the stiletto, or are you going to put something else on as well?
I'll just go with the stiletto. I don't really want to lug around the long sword right now, honestly.
Reasonable. All right, I'm coming to you last, Rhiannon. Randy?
What I'm wearing.
The Pirate King, Randy, the Pirate King.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Seems appropriate. Yeah.
And what do you have for gear beyond that mask?
Well, I think I'm handing the mask off, but I have my knife, my throwing knives just in case, and I'll leave most of my equipment here, but I'll bring my drum, my little drum, of course.
Of course.
And so I think we had 2 platinum, 4 gold, 4 silver to start, each of us from the stash.
Correct.
So I'll take like 4 gold, 3 silver.
Okay, reasonable. Keep in mind there is a pouch full of coin from Gandios that you have not upended yet to determine what its contents are. I gave that to you at the end of the last session. Okay.
And I'll make sure to tuck that
Indeed.
like where it can't be pickpocketed.
Gotcha. And Joel, I think you were wearing armor, correct?
It's all I've got, unless yes.
Fair enough. And the 2 short swords, or?
The 2. Sure. I mean, if I'm gonna go heavily armored, I might as well go all the way. And can I rig up the dagger, since it would be kind of hard to keep in the small of my back? Can I rig it up so that it's hidden in the beard?
I don't know. Can you rig it up so that it's hidden in the beard? Is this a skill you think you possess?
Depends on what I've got to work with. Probably not in the time I've got.
Probably not in the time you've got.
What is it that you're trying to hide?
I've got a dagger that normally
dagger.
lives in the small of the back, but I was trying to think, like, could I have it like tucked
In the
It has
small of the beard.
Yeah.
All of the beard.
With the like hidden, slid down through the beard clasp. Well,
Yeah,
that's for
that'd be
another
bad
time
if you
when I've got more
rolled or
time to work
something.
with.
As a wordsmith of sorts, although more of the spoken rather than the written variety, like the rest of you, I always enjoy it when people say things that I ask myself, has anyone ever used those words in the English language in combination before? And I'm reasonably confident that baby's on the half tip here and that we've invented something new. If anybody gets that reference, extra points to you. Okay, fair enough. So I think I have a sense of you then, Joel. So Rhiannon, as promised, coming to you last.
I mean, so whatever's in the costuming, I'm looking for something bright, something that fits my body type, I think is going to be the primary
Please
concern.
roll a 20-sided die.
Okay. 2.
You'll spot it, and an instant later, the mark will chime in. There are a set of rather elaborate wizard robes in flame orange.
Probably need to change your hair color to go with those.
The mark
So
will
if we're using
say,
the mask.
that seems appropriate to me. It certainly sends the correct message in a dangerous place, doesn't it?
I mean, I have this thing about wizards because see, I'm not a wizard, and I'm
Mhm.
not I'm not into the whole like old man with a beard and like
Oh, I
big
don't
old
think an
robes.
old man was designed to wear that, do you?
So is it cut so that it actually
Elaborate, fancy wizard robes like a rich noble, a woman who also happened to have magic would wear.
okay? Because I was picturing one of those sort of like
Yes,
just
sort of rumph.
camouflage.
Gandalf would be proud to put it on. No, it's not that sort of thing at all.
Okay. Well, in that case, okay. You talked me into it.
Fair enough.
Not weighing anything
Arm
so
twisted.
unfashionable.
No, as a matter of fact, there's
Kind of
probably,
like moon and stars nonsense.
given the way she works, there is probably a person in this town who that's supposed to be patterned after. And that person is probably a powerful wizard of some kind or another. Just FYI. Okay.
Hmm.
Not a wizard.
Yeah, certainly not a wizard. Never.
Not a wizard.
Okay.
Don't even play one on Twitch.
All right. So I have a sense of all of your gear. The thing I haven't heard anybody talk about is potions. You've got a bunch of them. Have you distributed those in any meaningful way? Are you bringing some with you, or are they all just sitting in a pouch here?
I think we left them all on the belt, which I'm not sure who wound. I think Randy wound up with those.
Well,
Probably.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't wearing it roaming the street. Otherwise, I might have tried to
No.
pilfer it from him.
No, I think we left them.
Or
So do you
We-
want to
so-
split those up at all?
Because we have those gems. The gems are healing gems or protection gems. I can't remember the little rechargeable.
They're
gems.
freedom of movement gems.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Transferability of the ring to the gems. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was the one that
so-
we were going to sell, and we should definitely leave that one. The one that like
The
one time use
Ravenar.
changes.
The Ravenar, yes.
So I think Ali took the one that lets you to fly,
So the flight
or did she
potion.
not?
They're
Because
all
she
the
had
potions are
boots.
together.
Oh,
Yes.
all the potions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't take
All
it.
in the potion belt, I guess. Well, we
Yeah,
thought
oh.
about giving it to Allie, but Allie decided not to take it.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So we have
At
a
the
healing.
moment,
we have
anyway.
we have a
We have
couple
3 healing potions,
healing potions.
one like remove disease potion,
conditions.
one
invisibility.
invisibility, and one flight potion. And then we have the 2
Correct. Which if
the
you
2
ask
things that were in the bag.
Which, if you ask Finnan to examine using his magic, he will tell you that these are probably potions that are designed to heal you, but they're not as powerful as the ones that you have over there. He's pointing to the 3 that you had that you discovered in the basement.
Should we take one
Yes.
of the
We're
powerful
talking
healing
about the-
potions? Just
the clay flasks.
Clay
What are you referring
flasks.
to?
That is correct. That is what he's referring to.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking second edition to you for a moment, those potions are probably potions of healing, whereas the potions that you found in the basement are known as potions of extra healing. Since no one here is necessarily an expert at second edition, I won't necessarily give away the store on that, but it's probably right in the title to know that one heals less than the other.
Mhm.
Right.
Fair.
I mean, we probably
Probably
want
a-
a couple, a healing potion or 2. Do you have any opinion on regular or extra strength?
I think the only one of us who would really benefit from the extra strength healing potion is probably Joel, because the rest of us just don't really have that many hit points.
Okay, so a healing potion or 2 of the regular.
I mean, maybe I could take one of those. I think I have, what did we
Okay.
decide?
I'll take one because I'm support person, and makes sense
10
for
hit
someone
points.
who is less likely to go down should have one of them in case.
Okay.
In case you need to pour it down somebody. Okay.
So you'll divvy those up 1 to a person, since you have a total of 5.
Yeah.
And so
Okay. So
extras go to Eric and to Joel. Regulars, or no, there's 3. So extras go to Eric, Joel, and
Randy.
Randy.
Randy. And
Randy,
regulars go to Ali and to Rhiannon.
Allie.
Sure.
Okay. Please scribble that away in your character sheets.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have how you're dressed. I have what you're bringing, a general sense of the money that you're bringing. That pouch, by the way, that came from Gandios contained Cormyrian coin of a much more recent vintage. 3 of which was gold, 23 of which was silver, and 24 of which was copper. 3 gold, 23 silver, 24 copper. Do you want to bring that along?
Yes, that should probably be our spending money.
Yeah.
Since it's not likely to arouse suspicion
Yeah.
or even attract notice.
Fair enough. So who's going to be the custodian of that pouch?
Rhiannon.
Me? Oh, all right.
I don't know. You're the responsible one.
You're the responsible one. I feel there's a Smirnoff Ice commercial brewing here. Drink responsibly.
Right.
I mean, because I was gonna wear stuff around my neck, but that can only hold so much stuff before it looks really dumb.
Yeah, just real
Yeah.
tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be you. I was just thinking.
I mean,
Thing about being a not wizard is that there are plenty of one can wear all kinds of pouches and not arouse suspicion.
that's true. That's
Mhm.
true. Well, maybe I'll just wear it outside my shirt. So, because like around your neck, it's harder for people to pickpocket it versus being at your belt.
Correct.
And so that'll just be like where I'm wearing my shit.
Just like Eric, all those episodes ago. Okay.
Oh boy.
So we have that. The flower is Rhiannon, yes?
Mhm.
Okay. And so now all I need, if you want to give me one, you don't have to give me one at all, is any kind of a plan you might have. Feel free to have no plan.
Okay,
I
so
mean-
I think we're going to go meet the contact in the manner described and try to not
Yeah.
get split up once we're inside, and then ask her if she can get us down into the storage area where we are. Okay, ask her if she can point out any Thalavars in attendance.
Right.
And then ask to get down into the I'm trying to think the storage area.
Cellar.
Cellar.
Yeah,
there we go.
the cellar. Did Jamal tell us that there's any specific way in which we're supposed to meet the contact, or we just assume the contact will meet us?
The contact will see you wearing the briar rose and approach.
Okay. But it not like inside or outside or around the back or
I think you're
all right, just
supposed to go straight through the front doors as far as I know.
Okay, great.
Again, she didn't give any detail. I don't know her that well, but I will tell you
Is there
she's fairly cagey.
mhm.
Is there some kind of recognition signal she will give us so that we know who we're talking to?
That's Jamal.
'Cause we'll probably be talking to people while we're waiting.
I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll figure it out.
She looks
Yes.
a lot like Allie. Well,
Mhm.
I won't use Allie. I'll use
Mm.
Amara. Honestly, Amara, you two could be sisters.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little shorter
Okay.
than you, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just look at Eric. Just like fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So, shall you pass those 4 hours? Does anyone have any? Do you want to pray to any gods in desperation during that time frame, or make any secret plans? Rhiannon has a plan.
Yeah. What does Rhiannon want to do?
Wizard store.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a wizard. There are no sorcerer
Yeah.
stores. So.
Yep.
Not till tomorrow. Or midnight.
I need a spell book at some point as well. So
Yeah, I know I had wanted to go try to get a different sword, but that doesn't have to be a scene. That can just be like
It
I
is
go
it is
and do-
unlikely that anywhere doing commercial business is
Would be open,
is
yeah.
is to be open at this point, since you are past.
That's
You're like
fair.
8 p.m. ish on a holiday. It's like
That's
getting
fair.
into the mall on Christmas. You're probably not going to manage it under the circumstances. Most places close when the sun goes down, and on a festival night like this, everyone's either out and about or deep in their cups.
Yeah.
So unlikely to be any shopping opportunities. But I appreciate your diligence. You do have all that money burning a hole in your pockets.
I do.
I was gonna take Finn in to see if I could find the children again, not as like a whole scene or anything, if we can do it, but it's just as a role or something,
Sure.
if that's possible. But
I will have to throw percentile dice to determine whether or not you run into danger on the way. You okay with
Okay.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Reckless fools it is, my friend. 2 things. 1, you do not run into danger on the way. 2, you do not see any immediate sign of the children at that intersection.
Okay.
Finnan will tell you that he's happy to come back tomorrow and look again. It could just be that it's late at night for them to be on the streets. Given what Jamal's been telling me, this is a very dangerous place at night. You getting that vibe wandering about here yourself, even though there are plenty of drunken revelers about. Or it just could be that they're hiding, deep underground, so to speak, because of what they saw this afternoon. But I haven't given up hope on them any more than you have.
Excellent. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. He'll take the opportunity while the two of you are out and about on your own to indicate that he's had his eye on you and he's thinking you're doing a really good job of sticking to the tenets of Finder's faith, and that his faith in you in that regard certainly does not feel misplaced. And if there's anything you want to learn, I'm happy to teach you. I will tell you that probably the most important thing that I can say to you is the importance of the choices that you make. Those are, above all else, perhaps the most important thing that you can do is make choices. Good, bad, indifferent choices.
Exercise of free will. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And if you can help me hone my ability to inspire and influence through song, and
I will be happy to share with you all of the knowledge that I have.
thank you, sir.
All right. So they will return from that little mission. Go ahead, Eric.
If I recall correctly, Jamal had something that she wanted to give me /
Oh,
the
yes.
team.
Thank you very much. I had almost forgotten that. When you two have a moment to talk, she will pull you aside and she will say, Mintassin gave me this. He collects magic trinkets from all around. And I have no reason to believe that this is from any world other than this one. But it was designed to help me in my after hours pursuits. And she'll produce a leather mask. It is black leather. It covers down to the mouth. So it's not quite a domino mask. It's a bit bigger than a domino mask. So it covers down to the mouth. And the thing that's distinctive about it is that it has curved horns at the top. And she will tell you, don't let its appearance fool you. I think it's meant to be more, the horns are meant to be more of those, more akin to bat's ears than they are meant to be of a devil or demon.
Right.
Yes, I appreciate that you're laughing about this, Ali, even though you're not
So
listening to it
during
at
the
this moment in
conversation,
time.
like I look around and I'm like,
Are you trying to determine if you're being punked?
if there's a scrying sensor, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Oh, candid camera.
No
The Realms version of Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, yes,
waving around the
exactly.
corner.
Leaping out. Okay. You are not, in fact, being punked. This is, Eric, what is
I
known
thought
as.
you were going to say you're not, in fact, being punked this time.
Oh, yes. I mean,
Anyway.
the whole thing is you being punked. But beyond that, okay, we want to get less meta and more concrete. What she's giving you is known colloquially as a horned mask. And she'll walk you through what a horned mask can do. They call it because the two horns are sort of curving up from its upper edges. It allows the wearer to see as though the wearer were like an elf or a dwarf out to a range of about 90 paces, so 90-foot infravision. But more than that, your sight allows you to pierce all sorts of things. You can clearly see creatures that exist like ghosts in between this world and the world of the ethereal, like shadows in between this world and the world of the shadow plane, and all creatures that can hide in shadows. What's more, it gives you the ability to see through flames, mist, fog, smoke, and other opaque vapors or conflagrations. They just look like faint outlines or disturbances to your vision. You're protected against blindness of a magical sort, however caused, while wearing it, and you can't be dazzled or hypnotized or stunned by light displays, nor charmed by the gaze of a vampire.
Oh, wait, there's more. Now how much would you pay for this mask?
You can't, unfortunately, convey these powers on anyone else, nor can you detect illusions, disguises, or see invisible creatures. But you can use the mask to engage in a rudimentary degree of tracking footprints that people leave on different types of terrain. I thought of all the people, you would make the most use of this.
So
So it has detective
Witcher
mode.
vision mask. Okay, cool.
Sound too good to be true? Well, free shipping if you order now.
Does it
Okay.
adhere to my face like
It
a
does-
second skin?
It does
Okay,
not.
that's
It requires you to tie
probably
it
for the
into
best.
place. It requires you to
Okay.
tie it into place. And like I said, it covers top of the head down to here when you are wearing it. It is.
I mean, probably not a bad thing to look horny when you're going to a fest hall.
It's a full cowl. Oh, Lord.
So I have a
Maybe that
question
kind of
for her.
party.
Yes.
Does this have any other properties?
It does not change
Please
your
don't
voice
do that.
intonation. You will need the bottom of the mask that modulates your voice to do this.
I am Elric.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I that could work with my Zorro-esque outfit.
Indeed. Whether you choose to wear it out and about or simply bring it out in moments of danger is up to you. I imagine it will become distinctive depending upon what you choose to do with it.
Mhm.
She has a twinkle in her eye, the sort of mischief that only a dungeon master and a master thespian could bring to the table.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on. It's briefly disorienting to shift into this sort of like vision, but it's remarkable your level of clarity. Shadowed corners become no longer shadowed corners for you, that kind of thing. It's definitely, yeah, you like this. You like
Wow.
this.
Okay. Boy. All right.
Okay, so you will return to the group. As I said, I think you are all more or less ready to roll at this point.
And rock.
Well, we'll see about that when you get to the fest hall. Okay, so you'll set out in the streets in the company of just at this point Finnan, correct? So it's Finnan plus the 5 of you makes a grand total of 6. And you will walk the not very far destination to the Purple Lady. It is actually located on the very same street that Jamal's house is located on.
Oh.
Just maybe a quarter of a
Convenient.
mile down near the city walls. Once you're out on that street, you'll get that same feeling that Randy got when he was out on it before. There's plenty of revelers still out, even at this late hour, because you're here after midnight. But the street has a more predatory and dangerous feel to it than it did during the day. There was this safety in numbers. That safety doesn't exactly exist anymore. However, you're all armed in one way or another, and all in fact carrying magical equipment. So if you're not ready for danger, who is, really?
Someone of higher level than us.
Yeah.
You'll make your way down the street to what is the Purple Lady. You will be able to determine that it is the Purple Lady for an assortment of reasons. One, it's a dominant structure on the right-hand side of the street at which there are crowds of people, carriages coming and going. It is a multi-story stone structure located near like a little canal near the wall of the city. And it has a giant sign with a woman in purple, glowing, looks like probably fairy fire or something like that, moving sinuously back and forth. Yeah, that pretty much is the place you're looking for.
Sorry.
Perfect.
And are there runes, like the common runes? or
Yes,
whatever
there are
underneath the
runes
spell?
in at least 4 languages, 3 of which you've seen before and 1 of which is new to you. But it's all squiggles and slashy lines as far as your vision is concerned.
I'm going to write
I'm
down
gonna have
the
to learn how to
runes
read that
are.
at some point.
That's what I'm going to write down the runes that are similar to the ones we saw outside the Giant's Folly.
Excellent. As I mentioned, there are a crowd of individuals. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily call it a line as much as a group of people that are trying to get in the front doors of the place. And there are a considerable number of people that are actually leaving at this hour. The people leaving are leaving into carriages as they're departing, and at least half of those carriages have what are obviously the livery of noble houses on them. So whatever party was going on, whatever raucous event from sundown to midnight that was going on is now wrapping up, and sort of the hoi polloi are being let in. One person described this location as where the wealthy hipsters and elites mingle. I'll leave you all to determine who might have said that. And it definitely has that sort of a vibe. There are two male human guards hulking, like as big as Eric, only wider, in front of this place, wearing studded leather armor, carrying long swords and scowls on their faces. And there are, as I said, a horde of mostly young, pretty, or handsome people. So when I say young, early 20s is the oldest. Some of these people are teens, and they look like they've acquired clothing that they hope will do to get them in here, but they're really relying upon their beauty to gain them entrance to the place. And you can see that while that's working for some, as the guards are deciding and ushering them through, it's not working for others whose beauty is not quite as manifest as the people who are being let inside. What would you like to do?
Well, Allie, I think you're up. Or
Great.
Rhiannon, depending on what face you're wearing.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
I think it's
having
Allie
put
and
on-
Rhiannon, yeah.
Right.
having put on the mask earlier, I probably would have some kind of like neutral face that's not mine, but like
Yeah, do we
imagine my
do-
sister or something.
Yeah,
I was
we
just
can
going
have
to say,
me
if you
be the one
can,
to stand out, since I'm going to stand out anyway.
if you're going to decide on a face to have, it is helpful to have a face in mind rather than just to sort of plastically put one together for yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you're saying, it's not like anyone's going to recognize my sister around here, I'll just wear her face. If the assassins come for her, I'll send her a comforting note.
Well, she ain't here.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they manage to get
Yeah.
all the way home, you'll send a comforting note. But so that's what you're going to do. Is there anything I need to know about your sister?
She same bone structure, but she has sort of like a rounder face on top of it.
Okay.
So we don't actually look, well, I think we don't look that much the same until you look at bone structure. So just like out on the road, I think we would look different because she has sort of less cheekbony.
Gotcha. Okay. So resemblance, but not acute resemblance.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So does that mean that the two of you are in the lead, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got the brooch like right there.
Right there. Right there. Okay.
Actually, speaking of like, not to derail us, but while I was changing, have I burned out any of the stars on the mark by having the speech bond with people?
The only star that you've ever burned is one of the ones on the trident symbol when you inadvertently set that woman on fire.
Yeah.
Well, set her on fire is really not accurate. Inadvertently turned that woman to ash. That's the only one you've ever discharged.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough. So you'll start making your way through the crowd towards the doors. You'll notice a couple of things about the crowd. Number one, all eyes are on you, Allie, because again, very attractive and also elf. So that's two things that make you stand out in this crowd. You also look more accomplished, you and collectively the group, more accomplished than most of the people in this line, because as I described them to you, they're the Forgotten Realms equivalents of teenagers out late at night.
Yeah.
The second thing you'll notice is that everyone in this line has been pre-gaming, to quote something that the kids like to say, insofar as they're all either already drinking or using some other substance, because there are other substances in the Forgotten Realms as well. And most of them are impaired in terms of their thinking, and even some of them impaired enough to be impaired in terms of their motor skills. So they'll make way for you, but you'll have lots of hungry eyes and a whistle or two as you're making your way through that crowd.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'll mimic some of their impairment to a degree so that I seem less alert and aware than I am.
Okay, could you roll a 20-sided die for me, Randy? This is a measure of how well you're doing, although you won't know it.
Okay,
It's going to
6.
go great.
Got a 6.
All right, you feel like you're doing a fantastic job, and none of your friends
All
have
right.
suggested to you that you're not. So therefore, it must be going well. Okay, so you'll
And
make.
you know, we would tell you. We would.
You would,
They
yes.
totally would. Yeah.
Totally.
Or you'd roll your eyes and sigh heavily, yes.
Okay, you will get to the front of the line. When you get to the front of the line, the two bruisers who are on guard at the door will take one glance over in your general direction, see you, exchange glances with each other, and they'll also take a quick look at Rhiannon, who is right there wearing the symbol. And you'll see the eyes on one of them widen. He'll tap the shoulder of the other, and they'll turn to you, Allie. Are you here by invitation then?
Yes, we are.
And all of these are with you? Gesturing to your group.
Yes, they're with us.
Very well then. This way. And you'll see people at the front of the crowd who were waiting for their opportunity to get in look at you all a bit askance, like, who are you people just getting in there? I mean, come on, there's a dwarf and stuff. Come on. And
Dwarves are beautiful, I have you know.
yes. And you'll be ushered through the two very large wooden, steel reinforced or iron reinforced doors and into this place. As you go in, the guards will make a comment back and forth to each other. You all get to roll a 20, or excuse me, a 20-sided die at that.
All right.
8.
Well,
Only got a 13.
Okay, 8,
20.
6, 13, 20, and
12.
okay. 8 and 6 will hear the phrase Arita's doppelganger whispered. Okay. One guard to the other, snickering. Okay. So, and you'll find yourselves inside. Oh, terribly sorry, I did leave one thing off. They will hand anyone who is wearing a weapon out in the open a 6 to 8 inch long strip of purple silk that you are to use to tie your weapon into its sheath. So
that's fair.
I'll
even make a show of doing that with the stiletto.
Okay, so you'll peace bond. Who else needs to peace bond? Eric?
Yep. I have that short
Joel,
sword.
you need 2, right?
I will peace bond the 2 short swords, not peace bonding the dagger in my back unless they mention it specifically.
No one said anything about it. And Randy, you've got a blade that's knife-ish at your okay. So they'll expect you to gotcha. Does anybody want to try and get cute and tie that in a way that it's not really tied, or are we all really peace bonding our weapons?
Yeah, really peace bonding.
Okay.
I wouldn't know how to do that. So yes, really peace bonding.
A shoelace knot can be just like yoink, done. So,
like just tie a bow, right? And you just whoop.
I'm just giving you the option if that's something. These are things players do for 100. And so I'm just giving you the option to do it if it's something you wanted to do. All right. You will enter the establishment. Inside of this place is a sight for the eyes, ears, and the nose. It is a large common room that dominates the first floor of this place, with many booths and dark alcoves throughout, filled with people, mostly young people, and a large bar that dominates the north, if you were coming from the south, wall of this particular establishment, with a barkeep standing behind it, smiling out. He's about 6'1" or 6'2". He's dressed a bit like a dandy. His beautiful blonde hair is up. He's convivial and laughing at a group of people as he comes in. Eric, you've seen this man before, and he did not look like this. So just keep that in mind. There are a set of stairs in the corner that obviously go up to the second floor, a set of doors that lead to the kitchen or back room area, which is probably maybe a quarter of the floor or something like that. It has high ceilings. The room's roughly a rectangle. There are purple silk banners hung along the length of the room. The dominant colors in here are purple and black in terms of color schemes. There is a raised stage at the center of the room, upon which at the moment there are two women dressed only in silks and carrying large feather fans engaged in some sort of a risque performance. There are around the stage 3 lute players that are presently accompanying that performance with a lively tune that allows those women to play off each other with those feathered fans. About a quarter of the booths and tables remain unoccupied. About 3/4 of this place is occupied. It has a shifting, sinuous, sensual, and decadent atmosphere to it. It has the smell of exotic spice, alcohol, and smoke. That's probably not just regular pipe smoke. And there is a slight haze to the air in the room. The crowd has some older, richer looking folk, about 3/4 of whom are men and 1/4 of whom are women, moving about the room. There's about a dozen to a dozen and a half of them. They are crowded around by young, excited, and drunk women and men, a ratio of about 2 times the women to men, who are sitting about chatting, drinking, and doing things in shadowed corners of this highly decadent room. There is a palpable energy to it. Drifting through this crowd, serving, teasing, flirting, and more, are around a dozen beautiful women and 2 men wearing purple silk see-through outfits that allow you a glimpse of them that you wouldn't normally get in polite company. These are, or must be, the purple ladies for which this place is named. The alcohol, the drugs, and hookah are flowing freely in this place. The bartender is like a spider at the center of a web with people clustered around him, laughing and smiling. What would you like to do?
Wearing the mask was a mistake. I can see everything going on in those shadows.
You sure can, Eric. You can always take it off.
But Allie and I should be able to as well, right? Since we've got infravision.
You can see the bodies in those corners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the
Probably
shattered
smell a lot of
shattered
it.
corners,
I
there's some
can
pretty
probably
Yes.
smell a lot of what's going on too.
You probably can, yeah.
The shadows don't render properly.
So is there anybody who is not the same temperature that they should be for me and Allie?
That's an interesting question. Ask me once you've been in the room long enough, because the lights aren't
Okay.
completely out in here. There are just some
Okay.
shadowed corners. It's going to take you a few minutes for your eyes to adjust to that. But that's a good question.
Mhm.
Are we
Table or booth, near the stage or away. Choice is yours.
Away from the stage.
away from the stage?
Yeah, let's go for a booth.
Okay. Booth away from the stage it is. Near the door, away from the door, near the bar, away from the bar.
Is there a kitchen door
There is.
visible? Okay,
It's-
let's try to find something near that.
Okay. So that's near bar on north wall, but sort of to left-hand side of bar on north wall.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll find a booth that satisfies your necessary tastes there, and you will take a seat. It won't be long before you'll see one of those women in purple meandering over in your general direction, but you'll have a few moments to talk amongst yourselves if you'd like.
That bartender seems familiar to me.
Why is that?
Is
I'm
he the
not
person from your
certain.
vision?
I believe so.
So
Hmm.
okay.
What
So
is
that
that?
sounds like bad
Die
news.
in my vision, though.
What does that mean, lad? Finnan will lean in conspiratorially.
Oh yeah, he's with us.
I couldn't say for sure.
I put a lot of stake in visions. The gods provide them to us after all. Was he doing something?
Have I told Finnan about this vision?
I don't remember you doing so.
All right.
Oops.
Well, I think at this point we trust Finnan enough. So I will just briefly describe the vision. Chris, why don't you just remind everybody, because it's been a couple of sessions.
Yes, I'm happy to do just that. The vision was of the boy, Gedrin, in a basement. He was crying, knocked around, standing over his mother on the ground, unconscious and helpless, and curled around his younger sister was a man, dressed in finery but savage in appearance, a vampire, not disguising that fact, who the boy had clearly tussled with because there was a splinter of wood in his leg from where he must have smacked the boy away. And the boy was about to attempt to do something to stop that creature from feeding on his mother and sister, but to do so would have meant certain death. You, in a ghostly form in your dream, but able to be seen by him in it, told him to run. And he did, straight up a set of stairs and into the knees of a woman dressed in purple silks. That
Right.
was what was in your dream.
And the bartender was the vampire guy. Yes.
That is quite correct.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
keeps
Finnan
on
will
saying.
Okay,
say
so
we should be cautious then and try to conduct our business and get ourselves in and out of here.
Unless.
okay, so as long as he's up here, that means we can see that. Yeah, we know that the attack is not happening right now.
It might have happened in the past. It might
It,
happen.
it
in
might
the
have already
future.
happened. It might happen in the future, but it's not now. So we're not
Yes.
under the gun at this moment.
And your
Can
pair.
you?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and so Elric, please, if you see the woman who he runs into, please point her out to us.
He only saw her from like the waist down.
Okay.
He saw long black hair, but that was it.
Okay.
When as the boy was looking up, he was looking up, vision cut out.
Okay.
I don't know. If I were a halfling, it would probably make this a lot easier.
You'll have to work on that when you go to sleep tonight.
No
Okay.
birthmarks or tattoos. There.
Not that he could see. Not that he could see.
Anklets? Any shoes of any kind? Was this
Barefoot.
person barefoot?
Person was barefoot.
Okay.
All right.
Did I get a sense of like their skin tone and stuff?
Pale. They were petite. Lithe.
Okay.
If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, that's not the wrong thing to be thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Do any of the servers look much like that?
They're all attractive in their own way, but all of them are human, including this pale redheaded woman who is arriving at your table. She's 5'5", 5'6". She appears merry. She's fairly buxom and curvaceous, and you can see all too much of her, despite the fact that she is clothed. It will, for those of you who might be embarrassed by such a thing, embarrass you. For those of you who might be pleased by such a thing, please you. You'll notice that her eyebrows will raise slightly when she lands her eyes on Allie. And she will, with a smirk, say, "Well met. My name is Mary. How may I serve you all?" Well, don't all speak up at once.
Yeah.
We received an invitation. And so we were hoping to meet with the one who sent it.
You wouldn't happen to know who that was, would you?
We were
I
told
don't
they
know.
would
Do
recognize
we?
us.
I look at Allie.
I'll look back.
Look at Mary.
I think I understand. Yes. If in fact you're here to meet her, I suspect you'll meet her soon enough. Would you like something to
How
drink
about-
while you wait?
Yes, how's the wine?
Oh, the wine is excellent. There are many, many vintages. We even have EverQuest. If you can afford it.
How much?
Well, it would depend on how much you intended to drink. A glass of it will only be a gold coin, a bottle, a platinum one.
I'll kind of look over at Elric.
Look over at Papa Eric and say, how
I
much will
pull
you
out a
drink?
platinum coin and I just set it on the table.
I was waiting for Rhiannon's
Look, look. I would have had to undo my armor to do that. So
So you can't ask me.
Why
Thank
are
you,
we-
Mary.
So 5 glasses or 6? 6 glasses then?
Yes.
I wish watered wine, so perhaps you can bring me water so that I may water it myself.
She'll laugh in a very merry laugh and say, we don't serve water here. Would anyone like
Small
anything?
wine for my friend.
Very well. If you're looking for a watered down wine, then a nib is all it will take to purchase that.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and I got the pouch. So
Okay, place the nib on the table. She'll collect your coin on the front end as opposed to getting it when she returns. This is the difference between this place and the last place you ordered drinks at.
Yeah, I'll have a watered wine as well. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have a nib to back that up, or have you given it all away to orphans on the street?
I do. I have like 4 nibs.
Okay, fair enough.
I
All right.
put another silver coin on the table and I say, Jan Barman,
Yes.
what is his name? He seems familiar to me.
Well, it's not a surprise that he seems familiar to you. He is, after all, our humble proprietor.
Is he?
And
And what is
did you
his
want
name?
me to? Did you want me to call him over? Did you need him for something?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Give me a second. I'm looking for his name, Eric.
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Uh,
But yeah, I would know something of him.
yes, his name is Soreneth Gorender. Happy is his moniker.
Uh-huh.
So that's you good? She gave you that. You're all set for the moment?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. She's taking your drink orders. She'll say, would you like something to eat or perhaps something to entertain yourselves? She says with a merry smile, looking about at the people who are consuming other consumables in this room.
Something with a great deal of garlic, if you wouldn't mind.
Roll a 20-sided die for me, Eric.
oh my god.
What? I like garlic. I rolled a 19.
Okay. Everyone else, please roll a 20-sided die.
Also, can we roll a 10 and see how much we're exuding garlic at the moment?
I mean, enough.
Let's see.
16.
Okay, 16,
3.
19, 3.
11.
Okay. So
Jinx.
the 3 and the 6 will pick up an eyebrow raise on her part, but it's very subtle, which is why the other people missed it. And she'll say, I think we're fresh out. Terribly sorry.
What a shame. Nothing then, thank you.
And anyone else?
I'm all
I
right.
think just the drinks to start with.
the drinks.
Very well. I shall return in a trice. And off she goes, showing you all too much of the backside of her as she departs. So
It's definitely the man in my vision.
To keep an eye on then.
So, are any of you uncomfortable in an environment like this? Because this is a very racy environment. I recognize we're on a PG-13 channel, so I'm not giving you the full situation that you're in here, but it is a very racy environment. Is anyone going to be like, I don't look up. I try to spend a lot of time staring at the table.
I will probably be uncomfortable, but I will not be like shielding my eyes. I'll just try to be low key about it.
I am probably slightly flushed, but I am also not. Like, I'm trying to play it cool.
This place is exciting
So-
to you. Yeah. Okay.
That's fair.
I'm not,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just kind of like, it's like going to a museum or something. I guess, look at the aesthetic beauty. If they pulled me up on stage and tried to feature me in something, like erotic dance or something, then I'd probably be embarrassed or
All right.
uncomfortable.
As a
That's
dungeon
your
master,
threshold.
as
Wow.
a
Put that
dungeon,
down in your notes, Chris.
as a dungeon master, never volunteer that information. But,
Yeah, well, sure.
but yes,
Okay.
thank you. Good to know. Good to know. Noting that on my record, yes, sir. Okay, and Rhiannon,
I'm
no
not
worries.
no.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, you'll chatter briefly amongst yourselves, and as you do so, you'll notice that the music shifts, and the women are making their way off stage and into the back of the place. As your drinks
I look
are,
at Allie. I'm like, you know what's going to happen, right?
Do
Anyway.
I mean, we're already inside. I mean, wasn't the point of the contact that she was supposed to get us in?
as the music shifts, it turns to a sort of an ethereal, haunting tune. And you'll notice that everyone in the place will begin paying very careful attention to what's about to happen next. It quiets slightly. The chatter dies down. That's a little troubling because now you can hear the moaning going on, but nevertheless, the bartender will call out in a loud, jolly voice. This must be why people call him Happy. Fair deep night, gentle revelers. You're in for a special treat this eve. Please attend as one of our most talented ladies moves among you. And from the stairs on the second floor, there will be a poof, sort of like, ninjas throw down that ball and you get a little thing of smoke. Oh,
Which everyone
someone-
can see through.
someone must have their
Which I can
hands on
see
one of
through,
those.
yeah.
Which you can see through it with your mask on. How about
That's right.
that? So you can see the woman who just threw it down. Welcome, Arita, the Silver Fox. Eric, this is exactly who you thought it would be.
That's a bit like saying chai tea.
Yes, it is a bit like
Yeah.
saying chai tea. But
Took me a second.
maybe
River.
maybe the bartender doesn't speak Elvish.
True.
She will emerge from the smoke, and all eyes are on her from around the room. It quiets, as I said, to see what exactly she has in mind. She is all alien grace and beauty, with long blue-black hair, braided down her back, coming together in strands down her back. She is barefoot. She is wearing purple silks, sort of like a top and pants outfit that almost is a I Dream of Jeannie style getup.
Oh, boy.
Little bit different from what the rest of the people in here wear, and it's designed in this particular instance to bear her midriff. She is also wearing a mask, eyes up only. So it's a half mask, and it's probably leather, but it's probably painted or dipped in silver, and it has the ears of a fox. She moves with a liquid grace, as she's engaged in what amounts to, frankly, acrobatics as she's leaping from place to place, moving across the room. She has one notable item on or in her possession, and that is a necklace that is in a gorget that is tight to her throat, but it appears to be like a star sapphire or something similar.
Oh yeah.
And she begins a display of sensual acrobatics to the haunting ethereal music, which is probably Elvish in origin, that the three flute players are presently engaged in, leaping from bar to table to the central stage, back to tables, and making eye contact in a haughty and mockingly flirty way with pretty men and women alike throughout the crowd. You have a moment before she notices you. Anything?
I mean, I'm definitely paying attention because I know exactly who that is.
I'm going to avoid eye contact and softly sing "Wake Me Up Before You Go." And as a counter song against any possible hypnotic effects or
Interesting.
attempts to charm.
So I'll ask a question here because we had a question before. Rhiannon, I assume it is not going to be your intention to directly and intermediately interact with this person because you assume that's someone else's responsibility. Yes?
Correct. Yep.
So if you need to take care of something, now's a good moment.
Okay, cool.
Okay, fair enough.
I will slip into the back and let them
Look
make
for
this
the
contact.
jakes. You'll look for the jakes.
Actually, I think that while everybody is focused up on this particular performer, would be an excellent time to slip out of the booth and make my way down to the cellar.
Did you see a set of stairs that led to the cellar?
Did not see. I assume they're in the kitchen, which is why I put us at a table near that. So roll. So I would, and if anybody asks, I'm looking for stronger stuff.
I
Feels
also
like a dangerous
assume
place
that
to go
Rhiannon
alone.
left the brooch for us to.
Yes, that's fair. If she
Yes,
wants to
okay,
pass it
okay.
off to someone.
Yeah.
Who do you choose who you pass it off to?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
Okay, so
Oh.
Allie, Bruce. Okay, got it. So Joel, you'll take the opportunity before she spots you to hop up and try to make your way to the kitchen.
Right. I'm yes.
So remind me to get back to you in like 5 minutes-ish time.
I
Okay.
feel like I should go. I don't like the idea of any one of us going off by themselves.
So perhaps you'll
Probably a good
follow.
call.
If you want
Okay.
Finnan to do that, Finnan can do it.
Yeah,
Your call, Randy.
I'll go with Joel. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll ask Finnan to keep an eye on her.
Companions.
Companions at the
mean-
table.
Okay.
Keep them under control, Finn.
So
Allie
what
and
gives
I
you
are
the
trading
impression that I
notes, and
have
I'm
that
like-
capacity?
Allie and I are trading notes, and I'm like, yeah, no, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So you'll get up, you'll move away from the table. As she's moving around the room, and this sort of dancing about the room and moving, it's like a sensual circus performer, I guess is how I would describe it, right? She's very attractive, and she looks a lot like you, or rather, you look a lot like her. Although you're not exact twins, more sisters or cousins than twins. And she's capable of being sensual without being overtly sexual in the way that maybe a human woman would be doing in order to attract attention at the moment. She's got the advantages, the alien grace of being an elf, right? And she's using it to her maximum capacity. You'll note that there are some aspects of how she moves that are unfamiliar to you, Allie. You're like, okay, yeah, I should probably be like taking freaking notes here because
I'm definitely taking mental notes.
yeah, like I'm
didn't know I could
definitely
think that
taking, yeah, I'm definitely
Oh my
taking
God.
mental notes. And so that's a thing. The situation has a bit of a vibe of the Salma Hayek moving about the room in From Dusk Till Dawn. Okay, so if you're looking for what is this like, it's kind of like that. A little less mean, but definitely teasing. And at last, her eyes will flick to all of you as she's approaching, right? So you can sort of see. You can see the eyes through the mask. You can see the smile below it, but the rest of the facial expressions are hidden in much the same way that Eric has going on at the moment. And she will smile for an instant when she lays eyes on you, Allie. Probably because the two of you look a lot alike, and also because she's probably detected the thing that you are wearing in a way that is designed to be out in the open. And
Yeah, I
maybe
would've,
other,
I was just gonna say I would have kind of placed it where the cloak pin would be. So it's very like for the half cape. So it's very like kind of right there in the open.
And that smile will deepen slightly when she sees what you're wearing, and then deepen even more when she flicks her gaze over to Eric. That smile went from friendly and teasing to slightly predatory when she puts together the pieces between the two of you. And you, Eric, and you, Allie, will feel a slight shiver go up your spine as you realize that you are face-to-face is perhaps the wrong word. We haven't gotten face-to-face yet, but you're in the room with a person that you have very strong thoughts, opinions, feelings. You created this person, Eric. You've long
It's very
admired
surreal.
this person, Allie, and there they are. And so you kind of wonder to yourself, right? Like, what is going on in the mind of this person? Could I know what's going on in the mind of this person? If I were writing this person's dialogue, what would they do? Like, it's the sort of thing that I have to imagine would go through the mind of an author. Or somebody like yourself, Allie, who has a real intimate knowledge of the character, that, you know, the two of you are probably experiencing this sort of like shared whatever. I wonder if anybody could read your thoughts at this particular moment. In any event,
I lean over toward Allie. One gold piece she goes for you.
I'm not taking that bet.
She works her way around the room, taking her time, avoiding the table that you are at, but stalking around it, as though her intention is to end this predatory dance at that location. Finnan, who is still with you, will lean over conspiratorially and say, "This fox appears to be a predator."
Unsurprisingly.
Absolutely.
Finally, she arrives at the table adjacent to yours, dances to gain the attention of the men and women, two men, two women, both young, seated at this table, but really paying attention to all of you, and then somewhat unexpectedly makes a leap from their table onto yours, knocking the drink that you have in front of you, Eric, over into your lap. It's only recently arrived, so it's nearly full. What would you like to do?
Well, apparently I am now damp.
So be damned. You know what?
Hopefully that was Rhiannon's small wine rather than the Elverquist.
It was the Elverquest.
Ah!
Because you guys were drinking the good stuff.
I will pick my glass up at that point.
As you react, because it's very
And
difficult.
That 18 charisma, 18 dexterity.
As it is hard for you not to react when something like that occurs, when liquid comes flying into your lap, right? Especially expensive liquid that you weren't expecting to get knocked over. And you, Allie, will firmly grip your glass and move it out of it.
Yeah, I'll like very, very casually pluck mine up.
You'll notice that she was making eye contact with you when she did that. So she kicked that drink rather deliberately over into Eric's lap, but she was looking at you when she did it to see what your reaction was, which
I'm
apparently was to preserve the drink. Okay. Yeah,
I will smirk and preserve the drink because I think honestly it's funny. It's funny as hell.
Good thing you didn't take the bet.
So she'll smirk right back at you from under that mask as you do that. And then she'll flick her eyes around the rest of the group. It takes her an instant to make her way around the rest of the group and pretty much dismiss everybody but you and Eric. So let's go over to that. Let's go over to that door to the kitchen for a moment. Okay, so Joel, you and Randy are blundering over towards the door to the kitchen. You've made your way through the crowds. You're trying to avoid indelicate activities that are between you and there. You're standing in front of the door. Just because the DM loves to roll 00 checks. One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
go
holding
ahead.
a cup an empty glass in my hand while we do this. So, all right.
Did you shotgun that extremely expensive elven wine in order to obtain?
I did not pour any into the cup. I
There you
had
go.
my cup that was empty from the beginning.
Even better. Okay.
Like
I'm
that
staying
bottle
sober.
is almost entirely Allie and me, unless Randy had some of it.
Nope.
Nope, just Allie and me.
All right. Fair enough. It sounds like a series that's going to be on television this fall. Allie and me. Anyway, okay. So Randy,
Your Purple Lady Platinum Club members.
Right?
Yeah.
is that how you
Allie
get
and
into
me
the
and
platinum club?
Elverquest.
So, did anything come of that
No,
percentile dice?
no, that wasn't
Okay.
the doors swing right open and knock into you. That was the percentile dice. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So just go in and, look around.
Okay, so you will go to push the door to the kitchen open.
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
You will discover in so doing that that door does not swing in that direction. Clearly, the door to the kitchen swings out.
Okay. So the servers have to have a way to get back there. So is there a handle?
There is a handle, yes.
Okay.
So you will deploy said handle and attempt
I will,
to push into the
yes.
room. Okay.
Look,
Randy?
I'm not sure how
I'll pull it
anything
for
in
me.
the Purple Lady doesn't swing both ways, but yeah, all right.
It's designed to keep it's designed to keep the casual drunkard from blundering into the kitchen.
Ah, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pull it out and pass through.
Okay, fair enough. Randy, do you want to do something specific or are you just lurking in his shadow?
I casually place a hand like on his shoulder behind him or whatever, so that we can establish a mental communication and be like, and what are we doing?
And as you say that, you are suddenly in the chaotic kitchen of the Purple
Yes.
Lady. There are a half a dozen men and boys, really, is how I would describe the people in this kitchen. No one in here is older than 13 years of age, which is probably why they're not engaged in the other activities. And they're furiously attempting to make food and drinks. They will look up at you because you just blundered through and you're wearing armor. You got
Child
something for
labor,
that?
Illyra? Really? It's fine.
Hey now, she's not the proprietor.
I guess that's true.
Which way to the wine cellars?
So, Randy, your question has gone unanswered. Who are you? A boy will say towards the front of the crowd.
I'm here to inspect your stock and see what the best things are.
Nobody told us there'd be anybody coming back here to do that. Who sent
Well,
you?
then just point me where I need to go, and I'll be on my way.
Please roll 2 10-sided dice for me. This is you attempting to use your charisma to influence these kids.
Is it 2d10 or percentile?
It's 2d10, terribly sorry. You add them together, and then I add or don't a number.
17. Good, because otherwise it was a 98.
I'm sorry, that was a great commentary on D&D second edition.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
add
very
them
much.
together and then I add a number, or I don't.
As the case may be. All right. These kids see that you're armed. Their gazes will flick down to the fact that you're wearing a weapon, and you do have the famous Pirate King with you. So clearly, you must be here on some business. And the boy will point to the right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
They're here on rum business.
So
flip him a nib and move in that direction.
you're gonna tip them?
Sure.
Why the hell not? Yeah, kids.
It's a nib.
Buy yourself something nice. All right, so you'll flip them a nib. Randy, you still have gotten no answer to your question.
That's fine.
Okay, so we have a separate Randy Joel adventure underway at the moment. Split the party.
I'm here for
Split
it.
the party. Okay, so you will head down that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen will swiftly give way to a cluttered hallway that ends in a door. Looks fairly sturdy. That probably goes down to something.
Excellent. I will try to open it.
All right. It opens because why would you ever want to just lock your cellar? That would seem like a bad idea. Is there something in your cellar you'd need to lock down there?
Apparently not, if it's open.
Apparently not if it's open.
Not
And
if it's deep enough, they can't hear the
Okay, so-
screams.
now you can see using infravision in the dark, but that Randy guy behind you, he can't.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is it lit down there?
Oh no, it's not. It's not lit down there, bro.
Okay.
Is there a torch or lamp nearby from the hall on the hall, like
Back
wall
in the
sconce,
kitchen?
or-
Back in the kitchen there were. But for some reason they don't light this hallway.
I will go back and get a light.
So just grab a candelabra off of one of the tables and drag it over in this direction.
I mean, is that how the only way that the kitchen is lit is candelabras?
There are candles all about, but there's also an oil lamp at the center of the room, hanging above the center of the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No.
which I'm
So,
assuming
I'll
you're not
grab
going to hop up there and go, kids, you don't need any light in here. I'm taking the
That's
oil
right.
lamp.
No. I'll take a
You'll
candelabra.
work in the dark. In the dark,
Okay,
Dad.
I'll take a
Once we're
candelabra and start humming Phantom of the Opera, and let's go.
So once we're far enough down that we're out of earshot of the kids, I will respond to Randy. What I want to do is figure out whether or not the attack already happened.
Are you
So if-
responding to Randy or are you responding to Randy?
I'm
When I rejoin
skin,
you.
skin touch.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I want to find out if the attack already happened. If so, you know, I don't want to be sitting out there if Gedrin needs rescuing now.
Makes sense.
All right. So two bold men carrying a candelabra will make their way down the basement stairs. If only Eric were here to tell you whether this is the same set of stairs in his vision.
If only.
Meanwhile, back to the main room. So you traded a gaze. You'll notice that she has a smell. You're close enough now that you can pick that up. It's spicy, sweet, little gingery. It's got a feeling of danger to it. If a smell can have a feeling of danger to it. There's a little sheen of sweat on her body. She is, after all, performing. And you can see altogether too much of her. Eric, would you like to describe the tattoos that this woman has?
Well, it depends on the era that we're talking about, but based on what time we think we're in and what time she, yeah. So she has a multi-pointed golden sunburst tattooed at the small of her back. And she has a silver fox tattoo somewhere on her body. I don't remember exactly where.
Midriff section, which could be why that's bare and could be why she has that nickname here at the Purple Lady. Okay.
That I think those are the only two at the moment.
That sounds about right to me too. So, but what you would
she has
expect
more later.
Well, you know, when you get one tattoo, it's hard to stop, right?
Right. Right.
So anyway, while looking briefly at Allie, evaluating the rest of the group, and then settling her gaze back in your direction, Eric, she will drop to her knees. So now she's level with about your face on the table, because you're a big man even when sitting down. And
just sit there.
She'll are your hands back? Like
no. Well, I mean, yeah, because I got the lap full of Elberquist. But yeah,
that sounds like the name of a band. Lap full of Elberquist.
I'm full of Elberquist.
Okay,
Sure.
And rather than do what you expected, which is to sort of move in your direction as she begins moving forward on her knees, she'll actually sort of lunge left at the last moment and move in to brush against Allie while looking at you, Eric. She'll brush against you, Allie, with a sensual, predatory grace, just sort of touching you, and you're just sort of en fuego, like, holy crap, in this situation. And she will whisper something into your ear. Allez, Nis. She's looking at you, Eric. What a lovely rose you have. That's to you, Allie.
Why, thank you.
She will move out from where she can breathe sensuously into your ear, and look at you, Eric, up and down. My, but you're a tall one, my Iva bin. But rest easy. I'm a very good climber.
I'm sure you are, my lady.
So
you have the back muscles for it, I had noticed.
Were you paying attention to my back then?
Somewhat.
Well, you should really pay attention to all sides of me, I'd think. She'll flick her gaze down from you to the pendant that Allie is wearing. Looks as though you brought me a present of sorts.
So we did, didn't we, Elric?
That we did, Amara. Indeed.
Hmm. She will
And I
hop.
was paying attention to all of you, my lady.
Good.
How could one not?
She'll smile at you. She'll hop down from the table. Again, all liquid grace in hopping down from the table. Everyone in this room is paying attention to what is occurring right now, right here. And she will say, running her finger along your nose as it projects from the mask, Eric, like the nose, right? This is a dangerous place to talk, as eager eyes and ears are everywhere. But allay, my Kyrie Kira. Given this place's purpose, we have the perfect opportunity to slip away to a more fitting spot. She's now at your side, Eric.
What a wonderful suggestion.
Ah,
I certainly think so.
do you? And she'll laugh a little laugh and then plant an open mouth kiss on you, Allie. What do you want to do?
That sounds
I'm
pretty
gonna
gold
go.
piece.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna lean into it. I will return the kiss.
All right, Eric, this is how to describe this experience? Surreal begins to
Surreal.
describe this experience. Arousing
Accurate.
begins to describe this experience. It is clear. I don't even need to get you two to roll here. That she's doing something to play the two of you off against each other, right? Why or what the strategy there is anyone's guess, but there's just too many gazes and flirtations and sudden gestures back and forth. Maybe she's testing to figure out what the story is between the two of you. Hard to say. But while her tongue is in Allie's mouth, you'll notice her eyes are on you, perhaps gauging to how you're responding to that.
Terribly jealous.
The room erupts into hoots, hollers, and laughs while the two of them are basically making out at the table, and she's having her fun with you. And the bartender loudly says, "Well, it looks as though the fox has chosen her prey." And Finnan, in a somewhat disappointed voice, will say,
Oh yeah, Finnan's still there. isn't he?
yeah, right. It's like you guys have forgotten he even
He's
exists,
easy to overlook.
right? He will say, in a somewhat disappointed way, a fitting analogy, like in a very like flat, almost British disappointment tone. So now we'll return to the two gentlemen headed into the darkness of the basement. So okay, you've come, yes, Joe.
As we're going, I am undoing the peace bond on one of my short swords.
Just in case you need a
Smart about
weapon.
this.
Just in case you need a weapon of
What's
some
that?
kind. Just in case you need a weapon of some kind or another.
I'm not drawing it. You know, I'm sticking with my. You know, we're looking for strong booze, stick.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want it ready in case I need it.
Seems
and
totally
remind me,
reasonable.
I totally forgot we can use our marks as illumination.
You
I can't remember
absolutely can.
if that uses up a jewel or anything, or if that just seems to be an innate.
That is correct. It's the best you can do with it is torchlight, but you're not rocking much more than that with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I already have my thing open, so I'll go ahead and do that.
Does
And
that mean
then-
you'll put the candles down?
You know, I'll hold on to the candles. Never hurts to have a little bit of fire on your side.
It never does. Rhiannon would probably agree with you.
And I'll have one of my throwing knives. I'll carry that in my left and have one of my throwing knives in my right hand.
All right, so now we're armed, boys, or we're ready to be armed, as the case may be. Okay. So you'll come to the bottom of the stairs. This looks literally like a storeroom at an inn. It's got that dusky, oh, I'm underground and there's sewer around here somewhere smell to it. And there's casks and stacked things everywhere. There's food, there's drink, there's all sorts of things about this room. That could be the thing, Eric. Yeah, really great if he was here to see this.
I don't remember him describing.
there's probably only one wine cellar. So let's.
I mean, probably only one wine cellar.
Right. So if there's racks, move throughout the room so we can make sure that there are not, bodies lying on the floor. And then if quick sweep, and then if there is nothing immediately apparent, look around a little.
I'd be a bad dungeon master if I didn't ask you this question. So if you found a body laying on the floor, what would you do?
It depends on whether or not. Okay. Is it dark? It's not dark enough that I can see heat, is it?
It is not dark enough that you can see heat. There is no body that you found so far. That was just if I would be a bad dungeon master if I didn't ask you the question. If you found a body lying on the floor, what would you do? But I think you've given me your answer.
I would not be surprised, given that we know that the bartender is a vampire.
Mhm.
But I think we would try to determine if it is the mother or daughter that Eric saw in his vision. We didn't see them, but if it appeared to be a woman or a young
Child.
female, how fresh the kill seemed to be.
Gotcha.
Those kinds of things. Yeah.
All right. Are you staying together as you're searching this room, or are you splitting up to search it faster?
No.
I think we definitely stay together.
Okay.
I'm behind the armor. I'm behind the armor.
Yes.
All right. So you're staying together to search this room. Excellent. Excellent. I'm taking the liberty of rolling a d6 for you, Joel. Okay. It's going to take you a few minutes to search this room. So I'm going to go back upstairs for a second. Okay. I'm back upstairs. So she will, standing after finishing her kiss, which will leave you breathless, Allie, and trailing the silk from her top over the two of you as she goes, offer her hands out as though it is intended for each of you to take one.
I'll reach out and take one.
Left or right?
How is she positioned when she gets I don't know which side.
The two of you are sitting next to each other. She was in front of you, making out with you while making eye contact with Eric. She'll drop to the ground in between the two of you, take a couple of steps forward, and then put her hands out backward. So left is the easy one to take because you're on that side.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay. Eric, you'll take the right?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. And she will drag you with everyone in the room making comments to themselves, clapping and hooting and hollering across this room and towards the stairs.
It's interesting because I was a little bit like, right, it's okay. We're not that far advanced in the timeline yet. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
you haven't done that to her yet.
No.
Are you two in? No, because it wouldn't matter, would it? Oh, well, that's too bad. So you're just thinking this to yourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
So she'll lead you across the room, up a set of stairs, and off of this floor. This party is now separated into 3 different groups. One in the basement, one on the second floor, and one returning from the Jakes. And at that moment, we'll take our first break.
Yeah.
This cannot possibly go wrong.
All right.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Shenanigans will be happening. Don't go away.
Okay. And we're back from our break. All right. So I was bringing you up to speed, Rhiannon. You are up to speed. Mm-hmm. You will return from the Jakes to the table to discover that you are alone with Finnan, as it appears as though everyone else has departed. You probably catch the tail end of Allie and Eric being led up the stairs to the second floor of this place. And Finnan, sighing once, will say to you, your companions seem to have decided to split up and seek out different missions. Reckless fools indeed. I'm not sure which group of them is engaged in the more dangerous one.
So I was expecting Elric and Mara, I can get this right, to be gone. This is my shocked face. You will see it is not a shocked face. But do you know where Joel and Randy went?
He will point in the direction of the kitchen surreptitiously. I assume that they're trying to gain access to the basements.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Do you want to come down? Because we don't want to go upstairs. So, I mean,
I-
at least I don't.
I don't think it's a good idea that we not be found by whichever group of them is seeking to come back to where we are. I could go after one or the other of them myself if you wanted to, but then I'd be leaving you alone in this place. And he's looking around. This looks like a fairly dangerous place.
That is point. I mean, we could give them a little bit.
Which group?
Well, I was thinking Joel and Randy.
Ah, yes, yes. If only we had some way of like contacting them.
So, I'll
only.
ask I'll ask the voice. So you showed me how to communicate with touch. There's nothing at a distance, I presume?
There's nothing at a distance that you can presently access. There may be ways, degrees of intimacy that could give you that power. Where is the tall one going with that woman?
That woman.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
so I was expecting to have to explain it to Finnan, but he seemed to be like on board here. But now this is an explanation that I did not have to expect to have to give. So the tall one knows of the silver fox. I know her real name, so it's very hard for me to remember.
She's
her.
a predator. You know that, right?
Yeah, they're into that sort of thing.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to disparage that
Hold
choice.
out.
That's not
Hold
what I'm
out.
concerned about. What I'm concerned about is her obtaining information that would be dangerous to all of you. Can we trust them?
Oh, wait.
I mean, you have a point there, because I was thinking, like, I'm just going to let them live their best life. Like, clearly this is something that they really want to do. But like, maybe what I want to do is
boy.
go like kick the door down. And
Or
be like,
burn it down, as the case may be.
yeah, that would also be fun.
That voice is a bit of a pyromaniac, isn't she?
Well, whatever choice you decide to make, I'm here to support it. I'm simply
Okay.
trying to do what I can to advise you of the dangers of the situation.
Your voice is a real friend.
Hey, guess who's coming back to your table? It's your redheaded barmaid. She's returned with sweet cakes, and she'll lay them down on the center of the table. She will say, "Compliments of the house. You're likely to be here a while," and walk off.
All right.
Oh boy.
So, shall I
mean-
go back upstairs, or did you have something for this, Rhiannon?
No, I'm gonna eat a cake.
Okay, they're delightful.
I mean, if anyone's going to need saving, it's probably me and Randy.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Maybe not necessarily, but probably. Anyway.
All right. So those of you in the basement are wandering about that room, just trying to find evidence of crimes, or where you are in timelines, or
Okay, so
whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Okay. So in order, I'd say we're looking for dead bodies, blood stains, and then probably start looking for hidden doors.
All right. So this is sort of like you at Walmart.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Dead bodies, hidden stains. Secret doors, secret doors. Okay. So you're looking around the room. There are no obvious dead bodies, secret doors, or what was the third thing?
Blood stains.
Blood stains. As far as secret doors are concerned, it's going to take you a while to move around this room to come to that conclusion. So you'll be here a little while just looking around to try to get that sense of whether there's something unusual. I already rolled a d6 on your behalf, so I'll let you know. But it takes you a while to get to that point, right? Just because that's the way the rules work.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Randy, did you want to do anything different?
Nope, that's fine. I don't think I was checking. I don't think any of my like bardic inspiration things help with those kind of checks. So
Not really, no. So just
yeah,
you're using the Mark 1 eyeball to try to do what you can. But there's no real sign of immediate bloody death that has occurred in this room. So at least there's that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I will leave you and I will go back up to the second floor for a moment. So after the two of you go upstairs, you'll arrive at a parlor taking up about a third of the second floor at the end of the stairs up. She is still leading you by the hand, and she will in fact look over her shoulder as she enters the parlor. She's saying this more for the benefit of the people in the parlor than she is necessarily saying it for you. Come now, the night is short. The way she said the night is short, you got the impression that that's a phrase that's supposed to mean something. It isn't just her saying the night is short. She used it like, always remember to bring a towel or whatever someone would say in a situation that, it has some intent meaning.
Yeah.
There are in this room couches, a rather familiar looking tapestry dominating one wall of the room, and low lighting that is designed to provide a sensual atmosphere. And there are a half a dozen or so patrons and purple ladies lounging and more in the couches in the initial section of this room. There is then a long hallway with doors on the left and right, to each, culminating at the end of the hall in a doorway. You are clearly going to that location. There will be muttering and talk from the people on the floor as the three of you drift by.
Like,
Yeah,
I'll
this is a
glance
very
around.
let's give them something to talk about moment. So yeah,
Mhm.
checks out.
Okay.
I will even affect kind of a smug look as I'm doing that.
Okay, smug look it is. She'll look back over her shoulder at the two of you and she'll sigh and she'll say, "Don't worry, there'll be plenty of time to make all the noise you want in a breath or two."
I'm sure.
And she will arrive at the door at the end of the hall. As she does so, she lets go of your hands rather swiftly and produces from Lord knows where in the top part of her anatomy a silver key. She unlocks the door, and in so doing is futzing about with the door. Please roll 20 sided die, the two of you.
Come on.
15.
7.
Okay. You think, Allie, that she was probably also taking whatever actions were necessary to disarm the trap that's on that door. So it's not just locked. It's probably also trapped. You couldn't replicate that at this point. She didn't get quite that close of a look, but there was definitely more than just unlocking that. From Eric's perspective, she just unlocked the door, took her an extra moment.
Me, I was like, where'd that key come from?
Exactly. So that door opens into a room. It is sort of like a bedroom and a sitting room at once. It has a giant feather bed that it dominates the room, wood with metalled posts, curtained purple silks, and silver accents, big and sturdy. A dresser big enough to hide a body in, a vanity and a chair with makeup and jewelry and a silvered mirror upon it, clothing racks around the room with different outfits, and 3 sturdily locked chests. There is also a bedside table, wooden, next to the bed, in which a small, delicate silvered stiletto is planted, blade biting into its surface. The room is lit and perfumed at once by an oil lamp on the vanity table, and so it's shadowy, but you can see into the room. She will move out of the way for the two of you to enter. Yes, no secrets from mask-wearing Guy.
Detective vision.
Yeah, I'll slip inside.
Okay.
Yep.
You'll enter the room, Eric, you'll enter the room, and she will close the door behind you. Roll a 20-sided die, Eric. Mr. Nothing Gets Past Me.
10.
Okay. You'll notice, could be your imagination, but it's probably not. You've got enhanced vision. There might be something like a sheen on that blade.
The blade that's stuck in the.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So the two of you are standing just inside the doorway?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. She will, after closing the door behind you, flounce into the center of the room and strip. What do you want to do now?
Our hostess did say you had a flair for the dramatic.
Indeed.
Oh, I like you, my have they been, she will say. She's now standing before you in all her glory. She's
Sam surprised.
breathtakingly attractive woman. Yes, you were right about the tattoos and the tattoo placement. It would be wrong to say that the two of you weren't excited by this development. Unexpected, expected, hard to say. Do you have any sort of a response whatsoever? She's standing in front of the bed.
Mara, you want to take this one?
Do you want to say that? Do you want to say that?
Do you say that out loud?
That's what I'm asking.
Okay. All right. I will look over at him.
Okay. She will come stalking in on you. And when I say stalking in on you, Allie, I mean that literally. There is a predatory grace to her stalking in on you. And she is wearing only 3 rings, earrings, and that pendant that's tight to her neck, right? Eric, that configuration of the pendant isn't necessarily the one that you've chosen. So maybe there's something slightly different going on there.
It's possible, yeah.
But it makes it so that one can be unclothed and the thing doesn't fly. It's right there.
Right,
It's
it's
not
just
going
practical.
anywhere. It's just practical. And she will say to you as she stalks in on Allie, money on the table, Avabian. And she will begin, Allie, to work at the straps of your leather armor.
Okay. All right.
Your
Apparently
leather
this is where this is
armor.
going.
Her leather
Her
armor.
leather armor.
The leather armor.
I will, as that's happening, I will say, now, we were here to meet someone as well.
Oh, I suspect I know why you're here. But right now, you're wearing something that's mine, and I take what's mine.
I can't argue with that.
Okay, so Eric, did you put any money on the table? Let's start with that.
I put the brooch on the table.
The Briar Rose brooch. Okay, you'll place the brooch on the table. She'll say to you, what a lovely gift, but I have to have something to give the house. She's working the straps.
I put the other platinum coin on the table.
Do I need to explain to you that I'm worth more than that?
I
I'll-
trust
Leather
that you
armor's
can
coming
make the
off.
change.
Did
No,
you
no.
want to say that?
As she
Well.
says that she's worth more than that. Since she's already like undoing the armor, I will just pull the pouch out since I have that around my neck, and then I'll toss that to Eric.
The rest of the coin is hidden in her clothes. Your clothes.
Well, then it shan't be hidden for long.
Exactly.
But you letting a beautiful maiden pay.
Does it seem like I'm letting her pay?
I suppose we'll discover.
I will look at him again.
I am the one who convinced her to wear the armor.
Are you going to keep your sword on? Sir
Yes,
Knight,
thank you.
do
I
you
am
really think
otherwise-
you need it against me?
I am otherwise spoken for. You can have the short sword if you want, though.
Is
I don't.
he
I don't-
telling me
I don't need a sword
she's
this short.
she's now she's now working on your clothes, Allie. The armor's off. She's now working on
okay.
your clothes.
All right.
Are you going to let her take your clothes off? Because if you do, I suspect you know where things might be headed next.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Can you
just
explain
trying
it?
to fathom.
I gotta
No,
look
I
away
don't
to
need
not go
explain
blind.
it.
Go blind.
I'm sorry,
it's not-
you're the one who wished for the super high charisma character. What do you want?
You know what? I'll just roll with it. Just
Okay,
roll with it.
fair enough.
Roll with it.
So she
Regardless.
will say, whispering to you, ignoring you, Eric, in your speechifying,
It's fine.
is
She's
he
doing her thing.
trying to tell me that he's not interested in what's happening here? I see the way his eyes alight on me and on you. Is he a fool? Does he not like pleasure?
The jury's still out on that.
She's too young to understand.
You say she's too young to understand. Is that correct, Eric?
Yes.
Oh, my eyes have been. I suspect we're both much older than you.
Hmm.
You're a little more than a boy.
Well, that's very flattering.
Did you intend then to just stand there and watch like a statue?
No, I intend to look at the wall, actually.
You
I just want to
delight
make
me.
sure. I just want to make sure that we have an agreement.
Which is? She's
We're
guiding
going to
you over
introduce
towards the
us.
bed now, Allie.
You
Nope,
are going
alright.
to introduce us to the lady that we are here to meet.
Oh, I'm the lady that you're here to meet. I thought you were here for a boy.
Well,
Am I wrong?
of course, of course. I am here to find a particular person, yes, who is a young boy, yes.
It is as plain as the nose under your mask or the chin protruding from beneath it. Don't worry. I believe we can help each other. But at a price. But don't worry, Ivy Inn. It'll be one I think you'll enjoy paying. Allie is now on the bed with her.
Okay.
Indeed.
I'm too. I don't even know if bewildered would be the word for it.
I mean, you could
I'm
step
just-
outside the door, Eric.
I'm just rolling with it.
No,
Yeah.
I can't step outside the door. It will draw too much attention.
Mm,
I pull out my
It's
notebook,
trapped.
I pull
and
out
it's
my-
also trapped.
Are you going to draw French girls with that thing, Eric? What are you going to do with that notebook?
I pull out the notebook and I take notes on what has happened thus far.
Okay, doing your best to attempt to distract yourself. She is meanwhile whispering into your ear, Allie. We
Mhm.
could be sisters, my little Kath, she. I know he wants me. It's a bone deep skill I've honed over a lifetime of needing to know. Is he just going to sit there and listen?
She is not going to believe you, no matter. Yeah.
Knowing him more than likely.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, then I suppose we'll have to do our best to put on a show for him. So let me leave you there for a moment
Yeah.
and
Boy.
go back
Leave it there.
downstairs.
Fade to black. Fade to black.
Into black.
PG-13.
Go back downstairs to the basement. I'm going to call you the basement boys for the moment because your boys are in the basement.
Sure.
Our basement boys have completed their circuit of the basement. There is nothing suspicious in this basement, but Joel, that, pesky dwarven heritage is really helping you out here because you're pretty sure that you're detecting something strange about that wall over there.
All right. Okay. What is it strange that I'm sensing? Does it ring hollow when I tap on it?
This is something similar to the experience that you had when you were looking for secret doors in the basement of Briar House.
Mhm.
You think that there might be, if you look at that and you move that, I think that's the outline of a door.
Okay. Okay. Look around for anything. Okay. Randy, I think we've got a secret door over here. And
Cool.
then I will start poking around, looking for anything that might be a button, touching things around it, looking for a catch.
Okay, so you're attempting to figure out how to make this secret door work. If you could please roll a 20-sided die for me. Randy, are you also assisting him? If so, please roll a 20-sided die for me.
No, I'm gonna back up out of the range of say
Any traps?
darts, trapdoors.
Yeah, it's true. We need the paladin and we need the thief
Mhm.
for this. I got a 9.
Okay. It'll take you a couple of minutes, but believe it or not, you have detected what you believe to be a mechanism that is designed to open this door. You're not convinced that it will necessarily open quietly, however.
Okay.
Is there? This is a cellar and a food thing. Is there oil for cooking down here?
Oh, I bet you there is.
Okay. Can we?
Might
I
that-
like where Randy's going. Can we oil hinges?
I like where Randy's going. You can do your best to oil the ground beneath it so that as you're sort of dragging stone over stone, it's slippery as opposed to grinding. That's the best that you can manage, which will help. It'll muffle the sound.
Okay, and assuming the party is still going upstairs, it'll probably not carry too much.
Oh,
Kitchens
yeah.
are noisy.
I wouldn't be so much
So-
worried about it carrying up as I would be about it carrying down.
Mm. Okay.
Bonus.
Randy, what-
If we all put a bunch of oil on the floor, if something comes rushing out of the tunnel, then they might slip.
And you have fire to light it on to light the
Oh,
oil, if that counts.
True.
Randy, what do you think? Do you think we ought to keep going at this point, or do you think we ought to? I mean, there's no evidence of the attack.
Yeah, there's no evidence of the attack here. I don't know if the cellar. I wasn't clear. Did Eric describe a cellar like this, or did he describe just an underground space?
He
'Cause if-
didn't really describe it to the degree where you're comfortable thinking I'm in it or I'm not in it. Like
Okay.
what he
Right.
said
'Cause
about
if
it
there are-
could conceivably apply to this room or it could conceivably
Right.
apply to another one.
Okay, but-
You just don't have
'Cause
that
if
level
there's
of detail.
stairs on the other side of this door that lead
Yeah,
down,
so
those could be the
let's-
stairs.
Yeah, let's go ahead and open the door. And
Okay.
at this point, I've got this. I'll go ahead and pull the sword out.
Okay.
Drop the pretense of the mug. Or set it down.
Because
At
who
least for
needs
now.
that? Okay.
I mean, well, they're not going to buy it at this point. So yeah, sword out, shield out. Randy, would you do the honors?
Sure. I
Hit the
will
switch.
hit the switch.
Is it safe to say that you have coated the ground with olive oil so as to make that door make less noise as you had planned?
Yes.
Okay. So watch your step is all I'll say to the two of you.
Right.
The door will grind open, but much less noisy than you would have expected had you not olive oiled the floor. So good work there. Clever thinking. And it opens into a space leading down. Hey, you know how I said, Joel, that your senses were dulled to a lot of things?
Mm-hmm.
Your senses are actually enhanced to some other things. You didn't know what those things necessarily were till you caught a whiff of what was coming up from below the ground. Randy, it'll take you a minute to catch it. Joel clearly picks it up first. That's a combination of death, decay, and fresh earth.
Let's close the door.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Can we close the door?
Absolutely. Same mechanism that opened it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I think Randy may be right on this one. I mean, the people we need to fight a vampire are not here. So yeah, let's go ahead and we've identified this. We can get back here in a hurry if we need to. Let's close the door. If any of the casks are tapped, I'll put some in the mug and then splash it on myself.
Mm,
and then we'll go back upstairs.
all right.
And
Sounds-
we'll just try to stage like the oil accidentally spill, like a thing got knocked over. Or
so it
something like
wasn't
that.
wasn't some guy that like just poured oil on the ground to conceal the secret
No,
door
no,
making.
no,
It was
a
just
couple of
an
drunks had an
accident.
accident.
Accidents happen. These
Yeah.
things occur. You guys want to roll a 20-sided die for me, each of you, as part of your staging this accident? Just so I have a general sense of how well you did.
2.
Thank you. You're very good at
20.
spelling. Both of you think
I'm
you've
like,
done.
this looks great.
Both of you think you've done a fantastic job,
Yeah.
and you will
One of us
begin
is
making
right.
your way back upstairs. Meanwhile, sitting in the common room, Rhiannon, over the last 20 minutes or so, as the evening has gotten later, the room has gotten more risque, and the people in it progressively more drunk and disoriented. This is going to get very not PG in about another half an hour. Wow. I hope somebody shows up that's in my party, because I don't know where any of those guys are located. Anything for Finnan while you wait?
Well, all right. So here's a neutral topic of conversation.
Sure.
If I was looking to learn some small spells, where would you recommend I look? I was going to visit that wizard shop that was nearby our house, but I don't know if they would be able to help me.
Are you attempting to learn a cantrip?
Yes.
I could teach you those. I have some mastery of the art by virtue of the fact that I'm a bard.
And I don't have to whistle?
There will
was
be a
worried.
tune involved. Can you whistle?
I can whistle like a note. I can't whistle a tune.
That's
so-
all it will take for a cantrip. The magic is extremely minor. I wouldn't recommend, he's leaning in conspiratorially, that we necessarily experiment with that here, looking around the room. But when we get out of this place, and hopefully we'll get out of this place, I'm certainly capable of helping you with that. Hey, great news, Rhiannon. 2 of your friends have returned.
Which one?
They were the ones who went down into the basement.
Okay.
Okay. So, Randy, Joel, are you just going to brush by those kids working the kitchen and go, so, we're done. Thank you very much. Here's another nib. Gotta go. What have you got planned?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I will.
no. No
Oh,
worthwhile
Joel.
dwarven spirits down there.
Fair enough. As they're spilled all
Nothing
over
worth
you.
drinking. Thank
Okay.
you anyway.
All right.
I'll be
You-
like, oh, here. And I'll like magically pull like a silver piece and say, thank you so much for your assistance.
So now you've
For the-
escalated your
for the
tipping
board.
from nibs to silver pieces.
Just
That's like a
splashing the
wage.
cash around. Now we got
That's
it.
right.
Okay.
And I'll drunkenly stumble along behind Joel.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, they'll take your silver piece. Roll a 20-sided die.
Both of us are just Randy.
Just Randy. He's the one handing off the silver piece.
12.
Okay. Hey, Randy, that kid just swallowed that silver piece. You think that these kids aren't working for a wage?
They're rust monsters?
No, it's not a question of that. It's like if somebody were to find that kind of money on one of these kids, there'd be
Oh.
questions. You're not sure that there's a union here at this particular facility. You're not sure that these kids are here of their own free will.
I can't normal rate this place right now. So we'll have to, yeah.
Okay, uncomfortably back out into the main room. Same description I gave you guys, or I gave Rhiannon a moment ago, applies. Whoa, this room got darker in a couple of different ways since you guys were in the basement. No sign of upstairs squad, which, given where they were going, is not a complete surprise. But, well, there's Rhiannon back from the Jakes.
Okay, so slide into the bench and
Do the
Going
touch.
forward. What's that?
We'll do the touch so that we can have a private conversation.
Yep.
Okay. No need to be subtle then. We found a secret door in the basement. Smells like fresh earth and death. So probably a vampire lair.
Vampires. Okay.
So that's so yeah.
And,
No body down there yet though. So is Happy, and I look over, is Happy still at the bar?
Yep, Happy is still at the bar.
Okay.
I mean, there's no body there currently. There might have been and been removed and cleaned
Or-
cleaned up. We do not
yeah.
know.
Or it's also possible that and it could also be that the attack occurred further down. There's another set of stairs down that we did not take. We figured that we ought to have at a minimum you, and
Towards the
preferably
death smell, or
yes.
Okay.
But we figured we ought to have at least you, and preferably you and Eric, if we're walking into a vampire lair.
And
well,
and
bad news on the Eric part.
oh,
Where'd
I think
they
he's
go?
busy. They're
Okay.
upstairs. Where did you think they were gonna go? Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay.
I mean, I considered like going and like kicking the door down, but I mean, like somebody should enjoy being here.
I mean,
sure, yeah.
So
You know, that's the
Well,
arrangements that
Allie
they
is
have.
enjoying being there,
This
like a
place,
lot.
this place is like this is Finnan. This place is like the inside of a dragon's mouth.
Hmm.
We best be very
Fire's
careful.
coming.
We best be very careful where we put our feet, or we may not make our way out of here.
And also a lot of tongue. A lot of tongue.
you say spilled oil.
He'll chuckle slightly at that. And we shall return upstairs. So, Allie, you and she are getting to know each other intimately. Eric, you are facing away from this, but in auditory range of what's going on. So you'll hear conversation and or other things that occur. And you are furiously scratching away in your notebook to try to put into that notebook any ideas, thoughts, etc. that you've got, right? You still have your weapon, but you place your money on the table, etc., etc., etc.
Well, you see, here's the thing about writers. When we start writing something, we could just tune everything out.
Everything?
So, not everything, but like most things.
Okay, well, this isn't most things, but we'll get
I
back to
suppose.
that in a second. So, meanwhile, between the two of you, Allie, you're new to this experience because you're in a different form than you were in yesterday, right? And what is more, she's an elf. And while you are an elfin body, you're not quite an elf yet. Do you follow me? You're very new. You're a newborn elf. And you're letting her sort of take the lead, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
As she begins her work, and you're enjoying yourself, she will stop for an instant when you respond to a thing. Take a look at you, move up to your face and say, "By the shape changer, Fey Fahor." At first I couldn't tell, but you don't speak Elvish, and you're the feel of someone new to their form. Wait, did you choose this shape based on me? Now I am flattered. What do you want to say?
Perhaps subconsciously, I'll admit.
Oh, no
I'm
matter.
I'm a little out of it probably. at
Oh,
that
yeah,
point,
yeah,
so
you're-
She's
More-
read some chat books.
Is that you from across the room?
Yep.
Why, thank you, Paladin. I appreciate your contribution to the matter. No matter.
Let's not call it a contribution.
Because you choose not to make one. You have a partner. Wouldn't she want you to be happy? That's whispered up from the bed. No
Not in this
response.
case.
Not in this case.
In this case.
No matter. You don't know that body the way I do, but oh, the things I can show you about exactly how it works. And the voice, which you only hear in certain circumstances, will say breathlessly in your mind, she could teach you so much.
I do like the sound of that.
So if you don't stop her, that's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna stop her.
So Eric, you're Zen. You're Zen during this 30 minutes. Okay.
Zen and the art of writing.
Zen in the art of writing. Your creation is doing everything in her power to distract you. She probably threw an article of clothing at the back of your head. She's making sounds. She's encouraging Allie to say things to you while they're engaged. Anything possible to make this situation as distracting and embarrassing for you as possible. Just so you know
Write it
how
this
you're
way.
spending your 30 minutes.
Then I'm definitely leaning into it because
See, this
that sounds fucking hilarious.
This is really
there's our
my
one.
fault.
There's the one.
This is really my fault when you get down to it, and I am taking full responsibility.
Okay, and as long as you
Being
are,
Hillard.
as long as you're being alert, as long as you are taking the appropriate responsibility, that's the key. Okay, so downstairs, let's talk about that. So now the 1, 2, 3, 4 of you are sitting in the bar, watching the place slowly descend into ever increasing drunken debauchery. The place is filled up as most of the younger, poorer people have been let in. Drink and drug is flowing freely, and there is a distinctive haze in the air. People are slowing down. New people are not coming in because the doors have closed and the bouncers are now on the inside instead of being on the outside. And you guys are getting, if there's, to be confessed, maybe a little bit anxious about this situation because you're wondering what is going on upstairs because they've been gone for now almost 45 minutes. And the shows are growing increasingly explicit. On stage now, there are 3 people, a man and 2 women, doing things that are not normally done in public. And that would make someone blush to watch them. Finnan has been a rock throughout this, and he's doing what he can to back you up. But as he said a short while ago, he thinks you may have wandered into a dragon's open mouth rather than a lion's den.
I'm going upstairs. It's bang on the door time.
It's bang on the door time.
I think I think we should all get away from a thing where we're surrounded by people. At least in a hallway, it's a somewhat narrow and
Yeah, I
defensible
think we either need to
position.
go interrupt or go clear the vampire lair.
Before
Sitting here is a bad idea.
Finnan will say, before such time as we go charging off in any given direction.
Yeah.
Do you want a chance to count the teeth in the dragon's mouth? Because I have a way of doing that.
Would they detect that you are doing so?
I don't believe so.
Then that sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. He'll put his hands out. Well, actually, he won't do that to start. To start, he'll put his hand discreetly on his symbol, and he will whisper or whisper whistle a little ditty in a very low whisper, right? And then he will close with his eyes closed, and then he will slowly open them and look around the room. A frown at the edge of his mouth is the only thing that betrays a reaction on his face. I fear my instincts have once more been proven correct. It would be easier to show you, and he nods at Randy and at Joel, and moves to take your hands under the table.
Okay.
I let him.
Okay, he only has 2 hands, Rhiannon, so I'm afraid it's Randy and Joel. Close your eyes, he says.
Okay.
Okay. You will feel a warmth flow forth from his palms to settle in your body round about your forehead. And he will tell you to slowly open your eyes. Do not be alarmed, he'll say. Well, any more than you have to be. Would you like to open your eyes, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. When you open your eyes, your consciousness expands. If you've ever been on anything that expands your consciousness and or placed under anesthesia, I'm in the second category as opposed to the first. You'll note that it sort of messes with your perceptions, right? And so you're looking at the room in a different way than you were a moment before. However, the room seems true. It seems real in a way that it wasn't. You've just cut through the darkness and the haze of this room. You've never really looked at anything the way you're looking at this now, and it aches a little bit behind your eyes. But you can see the room and those inside it as they really are, and not as how they appear. The room's shabbier. It's not a sexy den of iniquity so much as a sordid place of suffering and sin. What's more troubling, however, is the dozen or so wealthy people around the room and the bartender running the room. They're not human. They're monsters masquerading as human. Hungry monsters with sharp fangs and claws and fiery, glowing red, malevolent eyes. They're vampires, over a dozen of them, all around this room. And the activities that they've been engaged in, they're slowly feeding on the young and reckless fools hovering around them like moths to a flame. You will get a sharp spike of fear race through your system, and two things, the marks flaring to life over your heart, and Finnan's tightening grasp will choke that down so you can operate. What do you want to do or say?
First
We've
thing,
got-
Ted. Oh, I was gonna say touch Rhiannon under the table and say, okay, all the wealthy patrons and the bartender are vampires.
Okay, when you go to touch her under the table, Finnan will let go of your hands and the room will return to normal. There will be a moment of dizziness. Please roll a 20-sided die for me, each of you.
5.
17.
And Joel, you will choke down like a urge to vomit, and Randy, you will into your mouth and choke down an urge to vomit. It was that
Mhm.
disorienting to have that vision and then suddenly have it cut off. Rhiannon, you did hear that though.
Well, and it's still through the bond, not
Mhm.
allowed. We knew the bartender, didn't know the other ones. Not a surprise. They live in the basement. We should get Eric and Allie and
Yes.
then get out of here.
Set the oil on fire?
Well, I mean, if
Maybe?
we're
No?
if we're gonna come at the vampires, we best not miss. I think that we need to like sort of regroup and do it properly if we're gonna do it, rather than sort of like try to do something and then flee. So,
That makes sense.
Finnan will
So-
say to you, he's watching you. He can't hear you, but he's watching you. If you're thinking of taking action of a violent nature, I don't know that we will make it alive out of this place. This place is a feeding ground where the prey don't know they're being lured to the slaughter.
I mean, upstairs, we can look into getting out a window or something like that, because I don't think downstairs is the way to go.
Not with the bouncers on the inside.
Or even like downstairs, like that would be
Oh,
even
yeah.
worse. So let's get upstairs, get Eric and Allie, and then work from there.
We should stumble up in pairs as if we are seeking rooms. So maybe I'll like Rhiannon and Finnan, or Rhiannon and Joel, and me and Finnan.
Are you saying that out loud or are you saying that in your head?
I'm saying that touching Joel and Rhiannon and
Got it.
strategizing.
So Finnan has no idea you're saying it. That's what I'm trying to get at.
We'll
Yeah.
clue him in once we have a plan.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or I just feel like a chain of us heading upstairs looks suspicious. But...
I endorse any plan that ships Randy and Finnan. So go for it.
So I think I do want to break the private speech, but then I'll speak out loud, so then Finnan will get this. And like, I've been low key till now, but I'm like, that's not the kind of play acting I'm up for. Sorry. And then I'll just start upstairs alone. So,
Okay.
Like, so clearly the atmosphere has gotten to me at least that much.
The voice will say,
Valid.
"Where are we going? This is a dangerous place."
We're going up to Eric and Allie.
We want to join them?
No. So could the voice not hear me talking to the
That's
others through the
interesting.
bond?
Hmm.
So you didn't hear what I said to my friends when I wasn't speaking out loud.
What do you mean?
I will consider that later. So I'm going up to, well, we're all going up, but in pieces. We will go out a window or something once we have Allie and Eric upstairs, because
So we are going to burn down the door.
That is definitely on the table.
Excellent. Meanwhile, upstairs.
About time.
So the
Oh my
fun
God.
part of the evening is winding down. Eric, you've been a good sport, standing with your back to the action, and listening in. You'll know it's done because she'll say, "So, Uncle?" That was to you.
They're wrestling?
Perhaps.
Oh, no.
Well, he's safe for now. I know
does that
exactly where he is, and I'll happily share that knowledge with you once you've paid my price. I'm sorry about his mother and sister. They didn't deserve the fate they were dealt. But Lady Luck and I were watching out for the boy. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. What exactly is the price?
She's standing up and getting dressed now, Allie.
Yeah.
You're just you're in the afterglow. You're in the afterglow. Okay. Allay, Fate, the lady, and the trickster have given us a chance for you to repay your debt to me. I stepped in and altered the roll of the dice at some risk to myself. She's getting dressed in front of you, Eric, so she's worked around. So she's standing in front of you, even though she's still unclothed. But she's getting clothed. And fortunately for us both, you seem the sort who lives to aid people, especially damsels, eyes over to Allie, in distress.
I will at some point actually start getting up and actually
getting dressed. Leaning in conspiratorially. This place and my associations with it are becoming increasingly hazardous to my health. But leaving through the front door is not as simple as it seems. They see us all as very valuable property. So what I need, my giant Aviva, in is a way out of this place. You get to save 2 lives at once. Surely that must really appeal to your stiff sensibilities.
It does.
We'll
Where's
sneak her
the
off to the
boy?
side for me.
The boy is somewhere safe and will remain safe for at least the evening, possibly into next morning. Do you have a plan or a thought of a plan? And on that note, so meanwhile, you guys are crossing the room. Right now, it's the three of you scrambling after Rhiannon, who has decided to bravely blaze forward. Blaze,
Well, I'm kind of like
literally,
doing I'm
blaze
walking backwards
figuratively.
and kind of doing a like come hither to like fin in and like
my
winking at
God.
Joel and
Oh
heading
my
up the
God.
stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finnan is picking up what you're putting down, and he's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming over your way." He'll put a hand
no.
out to you, Sir Dwarf.
Sure.
Okay, dragging you across the room.
Clank,
Yep.
clank. Sure.
Meanwhile, Rhiannon, unless you're making an effort to keep them right behind you, you're going to be marching up the stairs yourself.
I mean, I'm not marching. I'm just sort of like I'm not walking urgently, but I'm walking like I have a destination in mind and I know that I'm allowed to be there. So sort of like purposefully.
Got it. Check. All right. So you're 20 feet out ahead of your friends.
Yeah.
Which puts you at the top of the stairs when they are at the bottom of the stairs. There are people on couches. They're in flagrante delicto, I believe is the phrase that is used to discuss these matters. There are a half dozen of them collectively in flagrante delicto. There are 5 doors.
Any of them chomp chomp.
No one is devouring anyone in that way.
So I will say, pardon me, I'm looking for the silver fox.
2 people that are in flagrante delicto.
Yes. Whoever will look up and acknowledge that I spoke to them.
In the time that it takes you to wait for that response and not receive it, your companions will arrive right behind you. Rhiannon is attempting to engage the people engaged in other activity in conversation. You get the vibe they're not going to reply. Anything from the 3 of you?
Well, I mean, there's only one way to go, right? Down the hallway.
There are 5 doors.
5 doors in the hallway.
Right. There's 5 doors, but we can stand in the hallway and yell.
I mean, you could just stand in the hallway and yell. They're not going to answer you, Rhiannon.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to answer you.
No shit.
Is there a door that looks particularly more secure than the others?
Please roll a 20-sided die.
8.
If you were going to just guess and bet on a door, it would be door number 1, 2, 3 at the end of the hall.
I suggest we try the door at the end of the hall. It looks the most secure, and it's at the end of the hall. Seems like a good destination for.
All right.
And end of the hall is more defensible anyway.
Finnan, agreeing with you, will say, "I suppose it's as good as it's going to get." Meanwhile, back in the room.
We
So-
cannot leave without my companions.
Yes, I would agree with that. So why don't we go
They-
downstairs and get them? I think we've
That's
spent enough
probably
time up here.
I do have one more question.
Put your clothes back on.
I'm already dressed now.
All right.
I will say the armor. Would you prefer I leave it?
You know, I think you've just earned it.
Lovely.
That's a ringing endorsement.
I will. I had already been like, I'm already like halfway in it at this point.
And let's try to remember how flattered I said I was.
Oh yes. Certainly, if we can help you do this, I wouldn't mind learning more.
I wouldn't mind teaching more. All right. So as you are making your way down the hallway, after you, my giant knight, she'll say to you, "It's unlocked."
My name is Elric. You may
Elric,
call me that if you wish.
am I getting under your skin?
You have no idea.
I think you make him nervous.
I wondered,
Would you open the door for us? It has traps, yes?
it had traps before I disarmed them when I opened it.
You didn't rearm them?
If anyone really wanted to see what we were up to, I figured we'd give them a show.
Fair enough. Open the
Fair.
door.
Okay, so Eric will open the door. As Eric opens the door, you guys were just arriving at the door, so there's Eric.
Oh, never mind.
And that's where we will end our game for tonight.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
So tune in next time to see how we get out of this mess and what happens with our mysterious silver fox friend and how she wants to be referred to us. I was going to ask, but we didn't have time. So plus we have to flee from some vampires. So yeah, tune in next time. I have been Air Scott to be playing myself in this game and trying not to break down. It has been great. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Ali for short. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. And thank you again for joining us. This was fun today. So tune in next time.
Hey, I've been Rhiannon Held. Check out my urban fantasy with werewolves, no vampires though, under Rhiannon Held, the Silver series, and check out my space opera under RZ Held, the Amsterdam Institute series, starting with Clean Install. It is now complete. It is novellas. It's got action, adventure, romance, emotional support cats, snarky AI. It's got all kinds of stuff. So check that out. And thank you tonight to our moderators. Whichever their moderators are in the chat, they are doing an awesome job.
Randy Henderson, I offer a shampoo and nail service for Goldfish if you need that. And yeah, thanks all for watching. Chop over onto the Discord. Check it out. Join the community.
I'm Joel Everett, and my mother watches this stream. Oh, all right. Thank you for spending this time with us, and we will see you next time. Over to you, Chris.
All right, I am Chris. I am the giant connected device, something. Fear
We
me
made it
and
all the way to the end.
and my power. We shall return with a new and unexpected events at our next gaming session.